coming on to my soul, rising up from the mist, pulling me in, I don't wanna let go. Settling in, another great show. Talk of the town, right here's where it's at. Show him some love, super chat, chat, chat.
Jerks tonight. What is going on? What is up? Snow's coming. It's going to be a big snowstorm. I hit Market Basket. Holy shit. It was crazy. I spent so much money. I just bought everything. I bought everything. Hopefully, we don't lose electricity because I don't think my freezer and my fridge have ever been so full. I could put things outside, right? It'll be that cold, but I want to be able to cook. I want to be able to cook through this thing. This is going to be a big friggin' storm if you're on the East Coast, especially the coast. The coast is going to get hit hard. I don't know how hard. They said between 18 inches to 2.5 feet of snow. It's going to be a cold, heavy, wet snow. Real winds, like they're saying 60, 70 mile. A real blizzard. We'll see. The last storm, they predicted big winds. We got snow, but we didn't get the winds. The winds with the heavy, wet snow, that's not a good combination for having power. I'm hoping we're not going to lose power. I'm uh I'm looking around for my iPhone cords and my chargers and my batteries and my candles and flashlights and all that stuff today, just making sure I'm prepared for this. So if I lose power, I can at least still have an iPhone if I charge my phone with a full tank of gas, all that stuff. Be prepared. Be prepared. You got tomorrow morning, tonight, you can do it too. Get prepared tonight. God damn. I thought it was over. I thought we were headed towards the spring and we're going to have one more big storm, it looks like. And you see the weathermen freaking out. I mean, they're like, oh, I've never seen something like this in my life and all this shit. You're just like, what? What? We'll see what happens. We did an early show today about Adam Deich and Juna Perkins, and unknown to me, I still haven't heard back from his campaign, which isn't a big surprise. I emailed them, they didn't get back, but apparently they did put out a statement, which to another outlet, I read it over, and I was just flabbergasted by the tone of the statement and the fact that they called Juna Perkins her campaign. They called it desperate, which I think is like tone deaf and hilarious considering Juna Perkins has the most donations, the most donors, the most donors from Norfolk County. She's got more people donating her to her who are voters from Norfolk County than any other campaign. And that indicates to me that she's actually the front runner. I don't think she's desperate. That's like for him to say that too about a woman. It's like that's not a good look at him, especially when you've been called out for bullshit and you're not even addressing it. You're not even addressing like for me if it was me, I would say I made a mistake. She's right. I shouldn't have done that. Like own up to it. Instead, the dude attacks Juna Perkins and calls her desperate. Not a good look to call a woman desperate in this day and age. I don't think. I don't think that's going to land well with undecided voters, and especially considering she's out there doing the work. People are seeing her. She's shaking hands. She's doing the lawn sign thing. She's getting the local endorsements. He seems desperate that he's actually emailing elected officials at their email addresses, their official email addresses, town workers at their official email addresses, because he can't reach them otherwise because he's not going out. He's not going out and meeting people. She's getting these endorsements not by doing something shady. She's just showing up. So I couldn't believe it. I was shocked by his statement. The best thing he has going for him, two things. Obviously, he's a former Fed prosecutor, people like that. And he's got Karen Reed in his corner. But that kind of language, to me, I'm turned off. I am. I'm not, He's making Juna Perkins look good, in my opinion. I know some people don't agree with me. All the free Karen Reed people, they're all for Adam Deitch. It's clear on that. But I don't think Norfolk County is going that way. I don't. And I think that when he makes a statement like that, I'm just like, wow. Wow, dude. Really? Really? But tonight, I figured we're going to dive into Nancy Guthrie because there's been a lot of stuff going on. We've seen the YouTubers, they got attacked by the sheriff, by this crazy state rep. I call her crazy. She's been acting a little wild. Um, and she's been doing media rounds. Inside Edition did a hit piece show on him. And it's funny because the YouTubers are now like all united, which I like to see. This is kind of cool. Look at, do I have this up? Yeah. This is JLR. He just posted the other day. I think it was yesterday, February 20th. They all went out to dinner. Look at all these YouTubers. They're like, this is what he wrote to YouTubers United. All these streamers have been out here in Tucson working hard. Thank you, everyone, for the support. We've been picking each other's brains and discussing scenarios on what happened to Nancy Guthrie, hoping she is found safe. All the sheriff is doing is making it worse for himself. Now these YouTubers are, instead of every man for himself or every woman for themselves, they're all coming together, which I like to see. Geez, I have too many responsibilities here, but I even started thinking crazy. Like I want to fly out to Tucson and meet these people and support them for a day. It's just like, who knows? Maybe if this is still going on in a week from now, maybe I'll go out to Tucson. Maybe I'll take a couple days and just hang out in Tucson because I want to support these YouTubers. What I'm seeing, they're not doing anything wrong. They're getting a bunch of shit. They've handled it very well. And yeah, and now the sheriff is putting out stuff about the search. There's a bunch of people who have been doing searches, and now he's saying you have to be licensed to do a search. Like he's like turning the public away from helping now, which I I don't get it. I don't get what the sheriff's doing. He doesn't seem to be handling this well. And if you're watching in the chat tonight, and there's anything on Nancy Guthrie that you want us to cover that you think we should know about, any latest updates, any news, just let me know in the chat because I'll be looking around on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else tonight. Let me get rid of this one. Hold on a second here. Good. We got Brian. Brian just gave an update recently, just a couple minutes ago. Kitty said, Kitty has a theory. You never know. This could totally be something like this. She said he had a crush on Savannah, like Hinckley with Jodie Foster. That's why he wanted her to quote "Silence of the Lambs" to him personally. Joni started that movie. Who did? This is like a ransom note you're talking about. I'm not familiar with what where that's coming from, but definitely could be a fanatic, a stalker. And that's the crazy thing about this whole thing with Savannah Nancy Guthrie. It seems like we're all of us are no closer to having any idea. It could be any of these things. It could be a cartel. It could be kidnappers, which I don't think is likely. But it could be a crazy fan. Definitely could be. Could be a family member. Could be somebody she knows in daily life. There's so much that we still don't know. After all this time, they're no closer to figuring this out. It's like no sign of her. That's why everyone's so captivated too. And then you see Savannah Guthrie and her siblings, and it just breaks your heart. Like to see her like that, I feel terrible for that family. You think I should go out there to Tucson? Oh God, I don't know if my girlfriend could handle it or my customers. I've already taken all this time off and put so much on her and my customers in terms of the eye surgery situation and the court dates, and so it's hard for me to take off more time. I never take off time, and I've just taken off a lot of time just to sit here and recover from this eye surgery. So that's what stinks. That's what stinks. I would love to go to Tucson. Oh, the ransom note you're talking about? That's what they aren't telling us. Why else would she read that? I mean, number one, I don't believe the ransom notes are real. Honestly, I think it's all scammers. There's so many scammers out there. However, why she read that way is because it could be a ransom, and they're in no matter what it is, somebody kidnapped her. So whether it's a ransom situation or it's just somebody like Jody Weber, the FBI agent, a retired FBI agent, thought like a burglar gone bad. Somebody that was meant to go in the house late at night when she was asleep. Maybe she woke up and she recognized them. She knew who they were. So they panicked and took her out of there. They could be something like that. And so her reading that note, that was just in case if someone was holding her, if there's any chance they could release her. That's why that note was that way. This is getting weird. It's getting weird out there. And JLR had a good little segment where he went through the entire timeline on all this shit. And it's very telling. We might play that if we have time tonight. I want to go to Brian right now and see what Brian's doing because he's got an update. Brian Entin. Brian Entin investigates. He's got an update with an FBI profiler. We had a great FBI agent, retired FBI agent Jody on. She gave us some scenarios of what it could be. I want to see what this FBI profiler thinks might be the suspect, what kind of person, what the scenario might be. So let's go to Brian Entin, who's on the ground. And Brian recently said he's not leaving. He's going to stay a little while. He's not gonna go. And I don't think JLR and the YouTubers are. From what I'm hearing is that more YouTubers are coming. Like people like me. Like I'm probably not going to go. I would love to go. If I could go, I would go. But there's a lot of people who are watching at home who are YouTubers or maybe even streaming it like we do. And I think that they're going to start showing up too. So I think they're going to have more YouTubers there now. And it's almost solidarity to support the people who have been the boots on the ground covering this. Let's watch what Brian has to say.
Please click to subscribe. Appreciate all the support. It is now day 21 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. It's Saturday. Outside Nancy Guthrie's house. You can see something new here. You see all these orange barricades that they put out. That's new. You can see it in the other direction too down there. Basically, the Department of Transportation came out and put these barricades in the road. They made the road one way, just trying to control. There's so much traffic outside Nancy's house and all the media. They haven't made the media leave, which is nice, but they put the barricades out. So that just happened this morning. In this episode, though, this might be one of the more interesting episodes that I've done recently, in my opinion. I spoke to a former FBI profiler, Jim Fitzgerald, helped find the Unabomber. I mean, a really, really legit guy with an incredible work history. And he actually came up with a profile of who he thinks is responsible for Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, what he thinks that person was acting like before this happened, and what he thinks that person would be acting like now. And it could be very valuable in people who are searching for the person responsible. The other really interesting thing that I've thought a lot about, and I haven't gotten into much until I talked to Jim in this episode, is could this be a obsessed Savannah Guthrie stalker who is responsible for this? And how seriously are investigators taking that potential option? And I mean, could they be going through Savannah Guthrie's emails right now behind the scenes? Are they working with NBC? All of that seems like it's a real possibility. So I'm going to get into all of that in this episode of Brian Entin Investigates. I'm joined now by Jim Fitzgerald. I really appreciate him coming on. He's a former FBI profiler. He was the founder of the Forensic Linguistics Studies at the FBI.
Somebody who's pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. I want to acknowledge a couple of comments because I think they're good. Panda says, I've seen YouTubers get more useful information than these mainstream guys. Yeah, because they stay there. A lot of these mainstream guys, they have to listen to a boss or an editor. And a lot of times, especially the TV news guys, they're doing 2 or 3 stories in a day. So they're just waiting, get a shot for 5 o'clock. All right, 5 o'clock's done. Oh, 6 o'clock, we got something else across the street. Go get that, So they're doing 2 or 3 stories in a day, and then they're going home. And a lot of times they're going back to the office. So TV news, they got their spots, 5, 5:30, 6. 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever it is, 7 o'clock sometimes, you know, when the shows are on, when those local news TV stations are on, they're just trying to fill a 5 minute spot, if that. Sometimes it's only 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is. It's a short little segment. It's a hit and run. So it's a different medium where these YouTubers, they're there as long as they can stand up, as long as their batteries are running. That's the problem. What they run in, they'd be there 24/7, except they got to sleep and they got to charge their batteries, right? I mean, otherwise JLR wouldn't go home, wouldn't go back to the hotel room. He's there from sun up to sundown, basically. And sometimes he's even there a little later. So yeah, that's why, because they're there all the time and they're watching. They get to know the people and they talk to a lot of people. Let me read a little more on that. I've seen YouTubers get more useful information than these mainstream guys. Look at Lana. She found a way to get the warrant served on Carlos. Learned they took her medicine from that. Yeah, well, Lana's wild too. She sent him food. She sent Carlos food. I mean, she's really something else. She's digs right in there. I hope if I go out to one of these places, she starts sending me some food. She can use my content. Send me some breakfast tacos, Like I'm all about the food, Lana. It's funny as hell. Yeah, she's been doing a good job. I know some people say she's another one like JLR. Controversial in the past. I don't know anything about it. I haven't I don't care. Alls I know is I've been watching Lana a little bit on the Turtle Boy coverage, and I think she's done a good job. I think she's done a really good job, actually. So that's all I really know her for. But I was laughing that she did get Carlos. She sent him some food. I thought that was very clever and cute. Nice. It was nice. This guy, Carlos, I don't think he has anything to do with it. You never know. Maybe he does. But that's the thing. The whole world is pointing at this guy, Carlos, and he probably has nothing to do with it. He's just a delivery driver. And for her to just feed him and be nice from afar, it's like, okay, that's cool. I like that. Like, because a lot of times these people are getting all this drama from strangers, and now there's at least one stranger, Lana, who's trying to feed the dude, which I love food. Feeding people is like the best thing, especially people who are going through crisis, just to send them something to eat. Pretty cool. So I like that part of it. Thank you for the comment, Panda. Let's check out some other comments here. Oh, she's great with FOIA requests. Love when she brings a document. That's the thing about her. I like it too. She's very intensive with the documents from what I've seen. JLR is trending number one. Super chatted 60 grand since he's been on scene. Oh my God. I mean, Christ, he must have been, he's got to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this. Like, I'm thinking of the numbers he's getting, and for as long as he's on, he's got to get me making 10 grand a day, at least, if not more. He's making crazy money. That's why I don't think he's going to go. Why would he go home? Like, and his numbers aren't going down. I just look at him tonight. I'm like, dude, I think they're going up still. Yeah. I love Doug keeps tracking me. Doug, I'm up. I just picked up another 10, Doug. Keep up. Dougie Doug. Doug 74. Doug, I'm glad you're one of them. I'm glad you're one of them. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Oh, you guys are funny. Are you worried for me, Doug? Are you worried that I don't have enough viewers here? I'm doing great. I'm actually enjoying my chat. Yeah, that's it. It's 77 more. And it's actually up over 80. We're up over 80 now. Come on. Plus, we got Twitter and Facebook. We're up. We're over triple digits here. Oh, she found him an attorney too. I didn't know that. See, that's cool. People like to judge and complain the work about boots on the ground coverage, and I say, well, if you don't like it, go yourself. Well, that's the thing. I'm fair about it. I thought Dolly Vision. I thought he was kind of goofy. Some of the shit he did. I don't know. Maybe he just got too. Maybe he's not fit for this kind of coverage. I don't know. It seems a little funny, but I'm fair, and that's the thing. Everything I've seen from JLR, for instance, he hasn't done anything that's problematic. He hasn't done anything that would say, he needs to go. I understand he's had some issues in the past, but I'm all about people making amends and doing better. And so far, what I see from him in Tucson, he's doing fine. He's nice to people. The police officers, actually, the sheriff's department, were asking him to move out, and he was very cool with them. He's very polite. He moved out. He moved off. Like, I don't see that he's doing anything wrong. I think the only thing that the sheriff doesn't like is that they're criticizing the sheriff and what he's doing and what he's not doing, which is the press conferences. He's still not doing press conferences. Wild. That's it. See, I'm fair. I agree with Panda. And, from what I see, I think some of his shit was questionable in the past. But right now, he's doing fine. So good for him. And I enjoy streaming him. I enjoy that he lets us stream. He doesn't complain about it. He encourages it, basically. All right, let's watch a little of Brian Entin and see what he's doing here. I want to see this FBI profile.
Host of the Cold Red podcast, which you can see the logo behind him. I really like your logo, by the way, Jim. And also author of the books A Journey to the Center of the Mind. And it's a privilege to have you on the show, Jim, just because the phase that we're at now, I've been thinking a lot about who this person is, who's responsible for the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, but also what they're like right now, like trying to get into the mind of someone who has essentially gotten away with this for now. Like, what are they doing? What are they acting like? I'm curious what your profile is on this person.
Well, again, Brian, thanks for having me on the pod again. I do appreciate it. And just a little bit of background in the profiling unit. I was there. My first case as a profiler was Unabomb. And I got sent out to San Francisco supposedly for 30 days. And I helped rewrite the profile that John Douglas did because the manifesto would come out. And that was a valuable tool that we put out there for people. And in my days in the profiling unit, when the 9/11 happened, everyone, the pilots were all killed, of course, but we're still putting behavioral characteristics out there of, who were their adjacents, who was helping them. And certainly in order here, the anthrax case, DC sniper case, we put profiles out there, a bunch of little cases, for individual cities of serial rapists and killers. I'm surprised I don't see this from my former unit right now. I'm surprised it's not out there. So my Cold Red co-host podcast, Ray Carr and I, and he wasn't going to be here with us today, but he has some family issues he's handling. We put this together over the last few days. And let me go back again. I like to deal with an historical perspective. The Brown University shooting in December, Ray and I came up with a profile because no one else was putting anything out. And we were just about to go on our podcast. That was, I think, Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, and everything broke in the case. The guy was identified up in a security building of some sort, storage building, and it was resolved that night. But it turns out the profile we put together was pretty much right on the money. So yeah, that's what we like to do here. And I have a lot of experts have been out there, and me a little.
This guy's a real FBI profiler. Mary says, please hit the like for Mike. Yes, please do. But more importantly, make sure you're hitting the subscription, the sub button, if you haven't. And make sure you check your notifications if you're already subbed. Make sure it says all notifications. You want to sub all notifications? Subbing, really appreciate it. Please sub on YouTube especially. Sherry said, Mikey, did you get the bologna? No, I didn't. You know what I got? I got some hummus, of course. I always get hummus. I love hummus. I have so much hummus. But yeah, no, I got the best steaks again. I got the steaks. I got lobster rolls. I got meatball subs. I got meatloaf subs. I got, oh man, I got the big friggin' fancy chicken pot pie for $15, Oh, I didn't get any knishes. I don't have any knishes at Market Basket as far as I'm aware. But I went crazy today. I'm like going high end on everything. I'm just like buying everything. So like I can afford it now. I got how many people? Before, when I only had 25 people in the chat, I only could afford bologna, but now I have 82 people in the YouTube chat. I can get the steaks again. I got some green beans. I got some watermelon. I got 3 pounds of those little, what do you call those? Those little oranges, the mini oranges. Ooh, I love those. I got some grapes. I was balling today. That was like the quickest in and out of a market basket that's busy. I found the perfect spot, you know, the one line that was actually short when everyone else was long. So like I got in and out. It was amazing. I got all the expensive stuff I wanted. It was in and out quickly, and our fridge is full. It is like there's no more room. Yeah, those little clementines things. The peels, they call them the peels. I got the 3 pound bag of peels, but no bologna. I got some bacon. It was actually turkey bacon, which is funny because I usually get the regular bacon, but I'm like, I haven't had turkey bacon in a while. I'm gonna get some turkey bacon. I just like to mix it up sometimes. Oh, we got all kind. That's the thing. All the basics here, the condiments, the macaroni, all that stuff. We already have that. You know. Today was all about the fresh stuff, the steaks, the grapes, and the snack food and the ice cream. I got 3 different. I got the big. I forget what you call those. The ice cream cone things, and then I got the. I forget what those things are called too. But I got 3 different types of ice cream treats. Like I said, I went all out today. I shopped like it was the last week ever. Like if you don't eat it all today, you'll never eat again. I'm gonna be so full. I was already eating all day. I'm getting hungry again though. All right, let's watch more of this. I want to thank everyone here because now I can eat again. I don't. It's not just bologna. I can actually afford a steak again, guys. All the super chats that have been
What
coming
does the
in.
DNA mean in the camera? 41 minutes, this differential. That's all important stuff that the investigators are certainly discussing. But what Ray and I always like to say, a week after a big case like this, we need to get the public involved in this. What for them to look out for. And the video is great. Anybody, you recognize it, the mask, the backpack, the
Yeah, the video is great. A couple more things I want to acknowledge here. We got a bunch of Facebook messages tonight, which is good. Facebook commenters, people watching on our Facebook page, Young Jerks. Kitty says, "Do you believe that someone copied her house key? Check places that copy keys." That's interesting. Like that's the thing, Kitty. We don't know. This is one thing we don't know. We don't know how these people got in the house. That video shows them approaching the door, but it doesn't show them breaking in, doesn't show them opening the door, it doesn't show them breaking a window. Were her doors unlocked? We have no idea how they got in that house. So that would be interesting to know if they broke a window, broke a door, if she let them in, if the door is unlocked, or maybe they, like you said, maybe they copied a house key. You know, maybe they were a dog walker. I have a lot of house keys here for customers. Maybe they were a dog walker. Maybe they had a key to the house. They let their boyfriend, the criminal, copy it or something. You never know. That's the thing. We really don't know. We have no idea on this stuff. Kitty says whoever it is got Savannah to quit the Today Show. Did she quit? I think she took a leave of absence. I don't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she did quit. I don't know. I definitely know she's not able to do a show right now. I mean, she's a mess. How is she going to do a bubbly morning show when her mom is missing in Tucson? It just sucks that she has to go through this. I feel terrible for her, and she's you can tell she's there for the duration. And true, this is so true, freeze frame. The people, the public, the streamers, those YouTubers seem to care more about finding Nancy than law enforcement. Doesn't it seem that way? And look how high profile this is. If they're that lackadaisical about this case, what are they doing to people that get no media coverage, that have no family behind them? That's what's sad. Like if it's this bad for this high, this is the biggest case probably ever in Tucson in terms of media coverage.
sort of gun holster that I was not familiar with, shoes, boots, anything like that. But there's also behavioral characteristics, and that's what Ray and I decided to put out because that's what we did back in the profiling unit for the whole 12 years I was there, from the mid 90s to the 2007 when I retired. So without any further ado, we broke it into 2 categories for this case. Again, the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, and I'm just calling it an abduction, and I know Ray agrees with me and everything we put together here. And it was either for revenge purposes, and there's multiple categories of that. Is it possible it's a for-profit kidnapping? They're the rarest of the rare in this country. Lindbergh baby, a couple in the early 90s, Frank Sinatra Jr. in the early 60s. if this was a successful abduction, whether you look at the guy's jittery behavior at the Nest camera, whatever, he still got away with it. As you said early on, it's been successful.
Now I feel bad. I appreciate your $5 super chat, Marilyn. Well, you say you can't afford a steak, but I hope this helps. I feel bad. I don't know if maybe you're talking about me because yeah, I'm scraping by to get my steaks. You know what I mean? It's been tough out here on these YouTube streets. But I hope you can just splurge on a steak if you want one. Like we all need to like that's food is a simple thing. Like I know costs have gone up, but you still have to find a way to splurge, even if you can't afford it. Just for food, go to the market basket, buy the best steak. It's still cheap. It's not like going out to a restaurant, you know? Thank you so much, Marilyn. Um, I felt like I was going to say something else too, but let's just get back to it. I want to thank Marilyn. I love super chats. Oh, I know this one. Do I have a generator? No, I don't. That's why I need I need the cord. You know how you charge your phone cord in your car? Well, it seems like it's not working anymore. So that's why I was like, shit, but I think I found another one. Because that's my backup. That's my generator for my phone. If I lose my electricity, I at least need to be able to charge my phone, right? To keep up with the world. So no, I don't have a generator. And we do have a fireplace that we've never used. So if worst comes to worst, we might be hitting up that fireplace for heat. I don't know. Well, I don't know where I'm gonna find the wood though. You know? If we lose our power and we have no heat for 2 or 3 days, that's gonna suck. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I live in a town that has their own, municipal electric company. So we usually don't lose it, even though we're on the coast. Like we're everywhere else loses it because they're with N-Star or whatever, one of the big corporations that don't care. Our shit barely ever goes down because we are like the town runs it. So I'm sure we'll be fine, hopefully. Well, I'm not worried about the food in the refrigerator because it's going to be cold outside. If that comes to that, I'm going to put everything out in the snowbank. You know what I mean? Get a couple coolers, a couple boxes. You just throw the food right outside. The only thing I worry about is the coyotes. You know what I mean? If the coyotes come along and eat the food, so I'll probably put. I got a couple spots. I got this big plastic container where you put your outdoor hoses and stuff. I'll probably try that. Hopefully that's secure enough. I also have higher balconies that are up, but coyotes can climb, so I still don't trust even the third floor from the coyotes. But I'll be spreading the food around, you know. I'll have if that happens, I'll have food up on the penthouse level deck and in the garden hose container. I'll be sticking all the food in there, keep it away from those coyotes. You know, because I do have a cooler, but there's only so much you can fit in the cooler. You can't fit your entire fridge in the cooler. So, and I do have a lot of food here, but that's what I'm going to be eating tonight. I'm going to be eating like crazy tonight. I eat late. I'll be eating probably during the show and we'll put a little JLR, have a little snack. I'm going to be eating like crazy tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow all day. I'm going to be eating and maybe doing a little
If
streaming.
his attempt or their attempt was to do a for-profit kidnapping, they've done a poor job at that. And I believe at least some, if not all, of the ransom demands coming into TMZ, whomever, they're opportunists. They're coming out of they're the Nigerian prince people out of Africa, they're Eastern European scammers, or somewhere in the U.S. Who knows? But if this abduction successful, to summarize the crime itself, kidnapping not successful because there's no proof of life. Every kidnapper knows you have to send some sort of proof of life, and where a watch may have been sitting in a bedroom somewhere, that's not enough. You still have to show your kidnappee is alive. So when we do these types of behavioral characters, it's not really a profile, we say. It's what we break it down as to pre-offense behavior, post-offense behavior. And what I tell people in this case, look at the video, look at the size, the shape, clothing, all the things we discussed already, and then take in these characteristics, which are proven over time, and we've had a very good percentage rate with, going back 25 years, John Douglas and wrestler Bob Wrestler and people like that before I was in the unit, and these are what these people do. We've interviewed serial offenders in prison, and we know this is how they behave. And we've interviewed them afterwards, even other type during interviews and interrogations when they're first arrested, and they gave us this stuff. So let's start with pre-offense behavior. Now, the kidnapping was the early morning of Sunday morning, February 2nd. So this is going to be the week before, but again, it could be extended longer, shorter. If you've lived with someone, a neighbor, a son, a colleague, coworker, whatever category, here are some features you're going to see about this person before the crime. Unusually distracted and aloof, inordinately busy, but for unclear reasons, self-absorbed, more internet time than usual. And if you happen to see some of the things he's looked up, they would be unusual factors, maybe about Savannah Guthrie, maybe about kidnappings, etc. Purchases of odd materials, and we've seen the video, we know what some of those are. Perhaps financial issues, real or imagined, but again, I'm not sure this is a for-profit motivation here, so just keep that as a possibility. He would possess some sort of a abduction kit, and I put that in quotation marks in my notes, much like the backpack scene in the video. And again, serial rapists have rape kits, serial killers have kill kits. This would be an abduction kit, and you can imagine.
So this profiler thinks it's very possible that this guy planned this out to kidnap her, and that she might have there might be like an abduction kit. And it kind of checks with the backpack. That backpack, like people noticed, was filled. It wasn't like an empty backpack going in to rob someone. The backpack was already packed, That's an interesting observation. This is a serious FBI profiler. He no longer works for the FBI, but this is what he did. He did this with the Unabomber.
Imagine some of the common sense things in there, but you wouldn't just see a person carrying a bag with these kind of things in it every day. And they would include, it could be in a box, in a bowling bag. I think BTK, Dennis Rader had it in some sort of a bowling bag, all these types of items. But obviously tape of different varieties, duct tape, electrical tape, masks, restraints of some sort, rope, wire, tools, that small flashlight, which is sort of distinctive, the bite light, I think they call it, and other items related to that. And lastly, again, pre-offense behavior. If you know maybe a little bit better than maybe others would, he's obsessed with one or more female celebrities and or high-profile women. So, of course, one of them would be Savannah Guthrie, but sometimes if there's any kind of a stalking element to this.
Wow. So this guy thinks it's very possible, like we do, that it could be a stalker. He's basically saying if anyone in your life matches these characteristics of a irritable, preoccupied, not around, but they're not really doing anything. They say they're busy, but they don't have anything that they're busy with that you know of. If they have a kit, if they're obsessed with Savannah Guthrie.
He could have other women out there that he was fascinated or obsessed upon. But for some reason, because maybe Savannah Guthrie herself wasn't available, her mother was, and he has a familiarity with the Tucson, Arizona area. So, Ron, I can hold off there on pre-offense behavior. I'm going to go into post-offense next, but do you have any questions about what I just said?
So when you said upset, so do you think it's someone who was motivated maybe by an obsession with Savannah?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he just said, Bri. That's a good question to follow up with. Chicken, or Chicky, what is that? Chick Eastwater, 9883 says, anyone find Savannah reading her own book 2025 about the kidnapping game played in Tucson? I haven't. If anyone knows what you're referring to or yourself, send me a message. Send me a message on Twitter. I'd like to see that. Or Facebook at the Young Jerks. Hit us up. Or you can email us. Email addresses at the top of the page on the Young Jerks profile on Twitter. I'd like to see what you're talking about. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Don't know. Yes, this Susan said YouTubers are the best coverage, independent variety. We get to choose, not mainstream choosing for us. You know what? I like it all. I like all media. That's the thing. I don't discriminate. I like my mainstream media too because I like editors. I like to see what the professionals are saying. I like to see what the conventional wisdom, you know what I'm saying? The mainstream. I like to see the mainstream, but I also like to see, like you said, the boots on the ground. I like it all. I consume all media. You know what I mean? I think we all have our space and our roles, and we're all a little different. I like radio. I like TV. I like the internet. I like YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I gotta say, like more than anything else, that's what I watch now. More than TV news, like national media, like MSN, CNBC. What's the other one? Fox, ABC, CBS. I really don't watch them unless it's like a big national crisis. Like if we're at war or some shit, like, or if there's an election, the presidential election, that's when I tune into the big television. But other than that, I'm on YouTube. I'm watching. That's where I go first. But I still like the old newspapers. I read them too, especially on Twitter, and see what their reporters are doing. Unfortunately, a lot of that mainstream media is dying. And a lot of people are happy about it, but I'm not, especially the newspapers. The newspapers are really a different breed than TV news. And I'm going to miss the newspapers, the print publications. They are dying off. I think in 2 years, most of them are going to be gone. So I don't discriminate. I like all of our media. I think we all need to stick together. That's the other thing I like about JLR. He's been cool with those mainstream media people. He's been nice to them. He talks to them. He's not a snob. That's the way I am. I like anyone in the media. Generally, I'm interested, unless I think they're a total sellout. There's certain ones that are snobby or they're just sellouts. They're just nasty people. You do come across that. But most of the average media people are good people, like especially the newspaper writers, like Eagle Tribune, Mass Live. Those reporters, I love them. They're the real deal.
I'm certainly not ruling that out. When I was in New York as an FBI agent, I had a close connection with the head of security of NBC. About 4 times a year, he'd contact me. Hey, another one of our female journalists or celebrities, whatever, TV people is being harassed by this guy. Can you check it out? And it was outside of New York. He would have handled it with the NYPD. He was retired NYPD. But since there are other parts of the country, I would maybe I would interview them if they're somewhere in the New York area, but I'd also send leads out. So a lot of female people on TV, a lot of females on TV. And it's different with actors, Brian. Actors look at their fellow actors when they're doing their scenes, their portrayals on TV. The difference with people like Savannah Guthrie and others is they look into the camera. And you get these people that maybe suffer from a condition known as erotomania. And it's in the diagnostic statistical manual that psychologists use for all the different categories. It's basically like a stalker's disease. And it can be men or women, and they're hung up on usually people in power, celebrities, and they think there's a mutual love back and forth. And that's why I'm hoping early on the investigators went into every email Savannah has ever received, probably going back 5 years, from some fan who just repeats himself, but somehow it just was never fulfilled. Maybe she sent the 8x10 glossy or whatever the equivalent is today, but that just wasn't enough for him. So I am not locking into this theory. And like I always say about these types of characteristics, I'll remind your audience, not every single one will be 100% right on the money. No profile is 100% perfect. But if the majority of these characteristics are met, and again, looking at the video, some kind of a Tucson connection over the years, current, in the past, consider calling the tip line. So the whole thing with Savannah just can't be ruled out. She is and I said in the first interview I did, I think, the day after the kidnapping, victimology is what's very important about any type of violent crime committed against a person. And that's a behavioral term for, it's one thing knowing everything about the killer, the kidnapper, the rapist, whatever, but we want to know about the victim. High-risk victim, low-risk victim, all those things. And as it turns out, it's not just, in this case, Nancy Guthrie herself. It would be her extended family. And I'm not talking about them being involved in this crime. Others are looking into that. It may or may not be. The sheriff has since ruled them out. We'll leave that where it is. But certainly the connections to those people. And Savannah being the celebrity, the high profile person, certainly worth a lot of money. If there is a financial aspect to this, she has to be considered in terms of who are the people that have been reaching out to her over multiple years. And I'm sure every one of those persons, their criminal records, and maybe even some of them have been interviewed, or at least try to locate them, has been done by the investigators now working the case.
Yeah, just before we move on, it's interesting. I hadn't thought about that, them going through all of her emails. That would make sense. Because she probably has a lot from fans and maybe even creepy people. But I thought of something else when you were just saying that. In her last video that she did, she seemed like she was almost trying to like give the kidnapper sympathy, like
Yep.
almost she was like trying, almost like we, feel for you, you can still turn this around, almost like she was talking to someone who was obsessed with her, like trying to appeal to that person. That was kind of the sense I got when I first watched it, which seems to sort of go back to your theory here. And maybe the
Got a
FBI
point.
told her to do that.
Yeah, and there's no doubt the FBI, the behavioralists are involved in not putting words in her mouth or on paper for her, but certainly guiding them and advising what to say and maybe what to stay away from. So yeah, there was definitely a shift in her tone and even her agency, so to speak, but to whom she was speaking over the course of the several videos she put out there. And I think you're right there. And of course, as I pointed out, and I guess others did too, but it's certainly the first video, they wanted to humanize her. That's very important in these
Right.
types of abduction situations. Call her by her name, mom, mommy. I think only Nancy only
That's
once.
it.
Mom,
That's it. You want to humanize her to the kidnapper. So those videos that Savannah and her family put out were definitely directed at whoever kidnapped more than even us. And maybe even somebody that like maybe you're a relative of the kidnapper, you know? Maybe you're not involved, but you suspect it and you see that and you're like, "Oh my God, I got to do something. I got to find out if my loved one really did kidnap her." I mean, that's what that video was all about. Humanizing her mom and Savannah and her mom, actually, both of them.
mommy, versions of that. So that was very important. They did. So they're trying to appeal to different levels and layers of
Right.
whoever may be holding her. That she is a real person, a human. She's kind. She's nice.
There's a
I'm
family
still
that cares
baffled,
about
and I
her.
find it very interesting. I wish I was the one to come up with this, but the fact that Savannah quoted lines from the movie Silence of the Lambs, I found
Yeah.
that very, very interesting. I'm not going to put a whole lot of interpretation in that. Maybe subconscious, maybe not. You'd think someone would have picked up on that. I know in the John Benet Ramsey murder, it never was a kidnapping, but for the first 6 hours
Well, I love our chat. You guys already brought this up before he said it tonight. Huh. The profile is thinking about it.
or so, with the letter that was received, it was treated as such. In that letter, there were direct references to the movie Dirty Harry and the movie Speed, and I'm one of the first persons to pick up on that. And that was early in the internet days, and even the movie Usual Suspects was kind of intimated throughout. So it's not unusual for killers, or we'll say alleged kidnappers, to borrow from the media, sort of life imitating art. But it's unusual when in this case family members are borrowing from art, so
Yeah.
to speak. Not bad or not good. I'm not even saying that, but they chose those words. I would think not coincidentally in the long run.
Yeah, I just felt like maybe she was trying to appeal to someone who may
Sure,
be
she
obsessed with
was.
her. Which goes back to your theory of, it could be like a crazy fan.
Yeah, and look, a lot of your listeners may be young and
Can't
they
put anything
may
on his
barely
question.
remember President Reagan, although, or even the assassination attempt on him in
Jodie Foster.
1981, and that was by a guy named John Hinckley, who was obsessed with the young actress Jodie Foster. And this is before actors and actresses would be putting their political, stuff out there. And I don't think anyone even knew her politics back then, and maybe even now, I don't know. But
Yeah, the Jodie Foster, John Hinckley thing. Freeze frame, you got a point here. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. We'll just put it at that. It's a very fine line on this stuff. I don't like to get too close. I like you said, you know, we can join up for a joint cause, but I don't want to be too close.
Stalkers, people suffering from erotomania will do really strange things. Sometimes they do hurt their actual victims. The
Yeah, he's
actress,
a
I
good
forget her
musician too.
name, but she was
He's
in
an
the
artist.
show
Seems pretty cool
in a
actually.
mid '80s show, and she was murdered by her stalker. Yeah. So the bottom line is, these things do happen, and I'm, as a part of me hoping that maybe this is an obsessed fan, and he never could get to Savannah, and he thinks he has some sort of a connection to her, so he just wants to keep her mother in a room somewhere and have these ongoing discussions with her about Savannah when she was young. And is there any chance she would like me? I know this is way out there in terms of a theory, but I look at the Elizabeth Smart kidnapping in Utah back in the early 2000s. Again, that was sex oriented, not related to this type of an abduction, but that person just wanted to keep that young woman in his possession, more or less, and keep her alive to fulfill the ongoing fantasy he had about her, and he was doing very bad things to her. I'm not suggesting if that's the case here, it's happening to Mrs. Guthrie, but there are people out there whose brain synapses don't connect like ours do, and your audience, and then something like this, if they can't get Savannah, maybe this is the closest they can get. So I'm hoping for this sort of possibility, which would mean then maybe Mrs. Guthrie is still alive, but we just don't know, of course.
So let's move on now. So we were talking about what this person may have been acting like before the.
I love our chat quotes Shakespeare. I love that. No Sure Girl, you're awesome. Great quote. And I also want to thank Britta. Britta Simpson says, hi, Mike and chat. Greetings from Ireland. I love the Irish that watch us. We get a lot of UK and Irish. Irish. I'm Irish. We get a lot of people from Ireland, from the home country. I've never been. I should go to Ireland. A lot of my relatives have gone there. I guess a lot of our relatives, and they're still there, there's Crawfords there in County Cork. You know where County Cork is? So thank you, Brita, from watching the channel from Ireland. I love that you're here. Much appreciate you. Chick says, what laws and procedures made or change after this? I don't know. Yes, that's a homeland. Thank you. I'm tongue-tied. I was up too late last night. I woke up late today too. I'm like in vacation mode. Like I didn't get up at my usually 7 a.m., which a lot of people consider late. You know, I usually get up about 7. I slept in today. I slept late today. It was like we went 8 hours on that show last night. That was. You're Irish too. Everyone's Irish over here. Ireland is beautiful. I know. So green. I like that they have music too. They're into their music, you know? Every pub has some music going. It's not like a big Hollywood production. It's just real, you know? Local and real. I love that. I love the local pubs. I like going to see local music. Oh, is Chimmy in the chat? I got an email from her. I'll definitely where is Chimmy? I don't see her. I guess she's here. Welcome, Chimmy. We got all, the whole crew here. I love it. I love you all in the chat tonight. And what is our numbers going up? Oh my God, we're up over 80. Where's that dude? The counter. Where's the counter? That dude that counts how many people. He only does that at the beginning, and then he only comments as if we don't have a lot in the beginning, or if we go down. He never comments when we go up.
I guess abduction, we'll call it. Tell me now, what should people be looking for in the after?
Sure. And actually, Ray and I, my, again, Cold Red co-host Ray Carr and I broke this post-offense behavior into 2 parts. And one of it's pre-video release. So again, after the abduction, but like that first week before the video came out, and then after the video. So so this is the post-offense behavior after the abduction, but before the video came out. And it's basically just a few bullet points here, but altered behavioral activity, especially the weekend of January 30th through February 1st. After that, this person's schedule is modified. He's more often in one place or less often in one place.
I love this freeze frame. You don't even know. I mean, I am so, yeah, I'm there. The fine line is a thick line for me now. Yeah, definitely. No doubt about that. Like I've got my independence now. I'm not indebted to anybody. I don't ride with anybody, you know. I, I'm here. Like I took that step. You want to analyze read and analyze her fan mail and messages. That probably needs to be done. I hope they're doing that. I hope the family is doing that or has somebody like a private detective looking into it.
Missing work, missing family functions, odd late night hours, out of town or claims to be for unclear reasons, and perhaps driving a rental car, but for no apparent reason. Obviously, observable mental strain, sleep disruption, potential for increased substance use, alcohol or drugs, over explaining whereabouts or created unsolicited alibis, hypervigilance toward police presence,
Do it.
cleaning vehicle interior or interiors
You know I would.
repeatedly, disposing of bags, gloves, or clothing, deep
Thank
cleaning
you.
of residence garage, burning or discarding digital devices, storage media. So again, all the serial offenders we've talked to over the years, at least some of these categories are what they engage after they commit a crime, especially one that goes high profile and is and there's a lot of media coverage. And let me just swing right into the post offense behavior after the video was released. So take into account everything I've already mentioned, but now I don't think he suspected this, whether he had inside information somehow, some way that the Nest camera
Get that
did not have a
coffee.
subscription. This may have thrown off, his thought process a bit. So now the video comes out, pretty clear of what he's wearing anyway, and he becomes even more frenetic, nervous, unstable, highly irritable, moving around physically, and even much more so than the past week. Possibly changes appearance, cuts hair, mustache, grows facial hair, and following the media even more obsessively. Frequent searches online of case updates or suspect descriptions, no doubt following the media. No doubt, Brian, listening to you both on television and digitally and on your pod as we talking right here, monitoring all different Facebook and social media groups, possibly calling tip lines with.
Think about that. He's probably watching Brian Entin. He's probably watching JLR too. I wonder. That's wild to think about. You know? I got to acknowledge a couple super chats. I know there are. I mean, we don't know if there are any solid leads. It doesn't seem like there are. I'm glad you're drinking coffee. Drink that coffee tonight. Stay up with us. New Hampshire dude, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Young Jerks memberships. We really appreciate you here. Thank you, my man. You're a good man. Bridgewater State dude, right? You're my Bridgewater State dude. Love it. I love it. Um. Oh, look at this. Law Talkers coming up. Throw some bucks up for Mikey. You can't watch Netflix for free. You can't. I'm not here for free. Hit me up if you can. I want to buy some more steaks. You got that from JFK. I love it. I get a lot from JFK. You all caught up? He has so many good phrases. He's just fucking hilarious. Yeah, Hinckley's out of prison. He's a musician and artist now. He seems like actually a chill, kind of cool dude. He posts a lot on Twitter. I don't know if he still does, but I used to see him a lot on Twitter. He was like trying to do shows and concerts, but I think when people are like protesting him and stuff. But yeah, we're working over here. We are work. I stole that one from James. We're working. We're working over here too. Journalist James Jackson. Um, I hope they've hired a private investigator several weeks ago. I hope so. Where's the counter dude? The dude that was counting numbers. We're up over 100 now. We're bouncing between 99 to 100. We're moving up, dude. Where's the counter dude? Does he only show up when our numbers go down? Is he noticing that last week we were at 25 and now we're at 100? Is he noticing that we're up over 100%? Come on, where's the counting dude? And look at that, $49.99. Thank you so much, Natalie, Diana. I'm gonna buy some more steaks next week just because of you. I'm gonna be able to buy some more steaks. I'm not gonna be eating bologna anymore. The last couple months is all I could afford was a Cliff Bar and bologna. I had nothing else. You know, the two other jobs I have, just barely scraping by. I had to work 3 jobs. Thank you so much for the super chats. I love it. I love it that we're throwing it in their faces too. Yeah, let's make that chat green tonight. I love it. And also red. I love the red and all the little hearts and the image. We're flying. We are flying. I want to see the JFK airplanes tonight too. And the ones in the chat. I love it. Where's that dude? Where did that guy go? Yeah, that's for my weed too. I'm gonna buy some more weed. I'm all stocked up on my weed. Believe me, I got the best plug around. But where did that dude? Yeah, that Doug. That's his name. Where's Doug? Doug only comes in the beginning when we don't have the numbers. Doug is silently watching right now, sulking, saying, "I'm gonna wait. If they drop off, if the 100 drop off, if he gets down to like 50 people again, I'm gonna bag on him." Doug's waiting. No, Doug's still here. He's watching. Doug is here watching. Dougie Fresh. Where is Doug right now? Doug, look what you did. We need the glare here. I love when the glare is here. It gets me all fired up. We get more
False
super
or
chats,
misleading
more trolls
information
come in.
and
Is Doug
posting
Will? I know,
speculative
right? Is
theories
that Will?
online
It might be the glare
and
himself.
possibly discussing the case excessively to gauge reactions of other people. You know, so again, some of these may be right on the money. Some of it, once or twice he did this. One or two may
Oh,
not
look at
be
that.
applicable at all. But
Jimmy
as I'm
came
telling you,
through. Oh
everything
my
I've just sort
God. I
of
love
mentioned
this.
here, if you know
Jimmy, I gotta
someone
say,
out there, in any
you were so good on the JFK show. I just I don't know how he found Kevy Cav, and I was like, wow, what a fucking find. Like, and it was from his personal life. I met Kevy Cav pretty much around the first time he was on the show, because that's when JFK had one of his first parties, and I showed up for it in Lynn. And I met Kevy Kev, and I liked him right away. And then he was on JFK's show, and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. He brought this dude in that's his friend, his lifelong friend, and he's amazing on the show. And then all of a sudden he found Jay Brill. Look at them. They're all spinning. They're all spinning about Jay Brill. Jay Brill just drives them all crazy. And now, like, all of a sudden, I'm like, who is this Jimmy? That night you were on, and JFK even stepped aside that show. He was like, Jimmy, you take care of this. You are so good. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for giving a donation tonight. Love that you're watching and here. Yeah, Kevy is awesome. He's got the good people there. JFK knows. That's the thing. JFK is an artist and a producer. He knows talent when he sees it, you know? And he knows who's solid. I mean, that's half the thing in the music business too. There's a lot of people that have talent, but then they have the egos, or they have the personality issues, or they don't work hard. You know? How you work with other people matters a lot too. And if you're a hard worker. Gifted the 10 Young Jerks memberships, Cats Pajamas. Thank you. We're working over here. We are freaking working over here. We got Shimmy, we got Cats Pajamas. You guys are feeding me. I'm going to be able to eat more steaks this month. Holy
category
shit.
of your life that fits at least, 3/4, the majority of these types of indicators,
Is he Patty streaming?
call the FBI tip line. If nothing else, you're going to get, and it's right, you're going to get $200,000. And if it's wrong, that's okay. The FBI is used to getting well-intentioned tips.
Of course, Will's streaming, Petty streaming. He's got to, this is all he's got. Like, this is the last hurrah for him. Will is at the point where he's like, I got to make all this money while I can, because it's going to go bad soon.
Along the way. When I got to Unabomb in the summer of '95, they had 2,500 suspects. And within 6 months or so, 7 months, we're now the one named Ted Kaczynski. But we had to rule out a lot of those other 2,500 that people were calling in. So call it in if these characteristics even resemble a little bit someone you may know. Now I'll end this part, Brian, and we can go into some more Q&A. But people talk about the lone wolf offender, and I really think in terms of violent criminals out there, Ted Kaczynski / the Unabomber was really the last lone wolf criminal, because nowadays everybody
Sorry. New Hampshire dude says BSC for the win, my brother. BSC for the win, my brother. I said Bridgewater State. Not only do we have Bridgewater State in common, we have Bridgewater State College. It's now a Bridgewater State University. That's what they call it. But when we were there, it was a college. So we're the BSC people. We're like one of a kind. There aren't a lot of us. We are BSC, Bridgewater State College. That's when we went there. My diploma says Bridgewater State College. It doesn't say university.
Is online, some much more than others. So even if you're a loner, kind of living on your own and you're isolated from people, you're not that lone wolf because you're engaging and interacting with others online, maybe even the dark web, and getting reinforced or learning, or somehow just being so.
Oh my God. I keep stopping the video because you guys are making me blush over here. I love it. I'm blushing. I'm getting the super chats. I love it. Thank you so much. We got 10 more. Like I said, Young Jerks memberships coming in from Cat's Pajamas. We got New Hampshire dude throwing $10 down. And then he came in with 50. He threw the 50 down and said, well, if Nat D can, I can. A worthy cause. Thank you so much. This is crazy. And then I love this one from Sherry. Sherry says, trolls, you all caught up. You all caught up. You all caught up. Where's that dude? What's his name again? Is he all caught up that our numbers and our super chats are going up?
Of sites and information. So yeah, even if if someone was kind of a loner, but now they're really a loner, you haven't seen them for like 3 whole weeks, that's a clue. And everything else I said matches up. That's something you may want to then call the tip line and let the FBI know.
So a lot of people have been describing this guy as an amateur just based on the holster and sort of the way he operated and trying to cover the camera with the shrubbery at first. But I mean, he's gotten away with it for this long, despite all of the resources and all of, the federal government and the sheriff's office looking for him. Do you think could there be a cockiness about him? What do you think is going through his mind in that regard? Do they get more like, oh, they're never going to find me sort of vibe, or is it more like trying to hide more?
Well, again, I'm a history buff and I'm a student of history, certainly criminal justice history. Let me take everyone back to 1996, the Olympic bombings, and I had nothing to do with the Richard Jewell part of it. I was a brand new profiler, still working Unabomb. But within the next year and a half, finally a guy named Eric Rudolph was identified because there was a few more bombings, including in Birmingham.
Don't get your husband mad at you. Well, Natalie Diana says my hubby will kill me, but Mikey needs champagne too. I need some mimosas, some champagne, and I gotta get the orange juice too, right? Or some cranberry juice. But I gotta say, I don't want your husband to kill you. So take it easy on those super chats. I don't want your husband. I want you to be watching tonight and tomorrow, right? So make sure your husband doesn't kill you for this. Keep it a secret for now. Slow down. Oh my God. This is awesome. You guys are killing me right now. I love you all. It's amazing. I love to see it. Thank you so much. I'm blushing over here. I don't know if you see this permanent smile I have
abortion
right now.
Clinic in which an off-duty police officer was killed, a nurse severely injured. We knew within an hour or so Eric Rudolph was our suspect. So we had a name. We knew he was from Western North Carolina. I visited that area 3 separate times for a week each time, trying to put the profile together, talk to locals who may have known him, help the investigators. It took 5 years to catch that guy. So did Eric Rudolph? Did he get a little bit cocky after a while? Maybe. The Unabomber was pretty successful for about 10 different bombings, and then the composite went out in 1987. The famous one with the aviator sunglasses, the hoodie.
Thank you, Brennan.
You can argue didn't even look that much like him, but he then went dark
2 years
for
to
6
us.
years. And that was really the first and only clue the law enforcement had before I was even involved in the case of who is this Unabomber person. Well, someone saw him outside the computer store, and that's the composite sketch they gave to a police artist. So
if I feel like I'm the glare. We just got another super chat. Chibi Speak says $9.99 says Mike is making all the money. Remember that how I got that making money, Mike? because they were jealous that I was making all the money. And then for the next 6 months, they said, Mike's never going to make money again. His channel is over. They are so caught up in the money I'm making. I make money at Howie Car Radio, too, when I host over there. I don't know if people know that. I think they get upset about that, too. Thank you so much. This is fucking overwhelming. Lock talkers, dog treats. The dogs are eating too. Throw up some bucks. You wouldn't believe it. I got 2 boxes of dog treats today. Like I said, I bought everything. I bought that friggin' store out. My girlfriend's like, "Did you get the dog treats?" As soon as I walked out the door, I said, "Honey, not only did I get the dog treats, I got 2 boxes." Oh, killed it today. I killed it in the shop, and I'm killing it now on the show because of all you. You're making me so happy. I can't even tell you. We're not even able to get through the short video. This is unbelievable. Sue B, Chimmy Speaks over and over again. Law Talk. I love you all. You don't even know. Natalie, Sherry. I'm putting them up again because thank you. New Hampshire Dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The Young Jerks memberships tonight getting kicked out too. Cats, thank you so much. Cats Pajamas. Chimmy Speaks again. Natalie again. Natalie Diana. Law Talk is the Hampshire Dude. He bought some 5 Young Jerks memberships. North Shore Girl. I love my North Shore people. You know it. You know it. Marilyn. Marilyn kicked it off tonight. She was the first one. 7:33. Marilyn, look what you started, Marilyn. You started this. God damn. And I think we're missing some. I think we got some new ones. Yeah. We got Charlie's Irish fun. Oh, Charlie's Knish fun. You like that story. Charlie got the Knish. He got the Knish. He oh man, he had some problems this morning. He was he pooped that Knish out this morning. Charlie got the Knish. Thank you so much, Rose. I'm gonna have to replace it. No more Knishes for Charlie. I'm still mad at him. Natalie, come up 10 more. She said, I'm tapped out. Here's a few oysters. No more. If you can't spend, don't do it. Thank you so much, Natalie. Oh, my God. I'm blushing tonight. You guys, I got to get through this video. Love you. Where's that dude that was crying about our numbers?
This person's overall demeanor and persona
Another
and
one.
personality would determine whether he's the cocky type right now or whether he's the nervous Nelly type.
We got a lot of super chats.
Unofficial terms here. I just can't profess that. I can tell you this: he's being very careful, and if not doing everything I just mentioned post offense, he's doing a lot of them to cover his tracks. No criminal wants to get caught. Sometimes, the guy really wanted to get arrested. Unabomber wrote these letters to New York Times.
I can't believe it. My Bridgewater State friend. He sent another 50. He said, my brother from another, Mike, keep swimming in the blue ocean, my friend. If you know, you know. You know, the beautiful thing, too, about this is you are my New Hampshire Dude 603 that went to Bridgewater State College. And when I looked at you, I was like, this dude wrestled. You didn't wrestle, but you look like a wrestler. Do you get that a lot? I want to know, New Hampshire Dude. Do people look at you and get a little worried? Because I looked at you and I'm like, this dude's a grappler. Just the way that you looked, it looks like you could scrap. Like, I want to thank you so much. Another $50. You are very generous, my friend. I'm glad to know you. Bridgewater State Bears forever, bro.
Because he wanted to get arrested. No one wants to go to prison for the rest of their life. So this guy doesn't want to get caught, and he's being very careful, and he's retracing some steps to perhaps cover his tracks, whether like the Idaho killer of the 4 students actually driving down the street again, checking things out. Who knows about that? That'd be pretty high risk on the street. Relatively small, or I should say, not that well traveled from what I've seen. But he's obsessively following the media, and he's just making some strange, furtive actions that he wouldn't have been doing up to 3 weeks ago. And that's what we're asking people to look for and recognize. Male, probably 30-ish or above. And we're not ruling out a second person, by the way. But when we give a profile like this, we focus on the main, we'll call them alpha male, but certainly the primary person behind it. And it could be a secondary person involved, and who knows, even a third. But the odds are that the profile or the behavioral characteristics I just put out will mostly align with the person who is in charge of this, whose idea this was, and is basically running the show at this point in time.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say about the street because I've kind of wondered that, like, it's creepy, but like, is it possible that, when we've been out there, he's like driven by or something like that? A lot of people are
Be
hung up
there.
now, when we're recording this,
They
it's
could
day
be on. They could be
21.
standing right next to
And you
JLR.
mentioned how long other cases have taken to be solved. There was one new report out today from ABC saying that they may scale back resources the longer this goes unsolved. Are you concerned at all? Like, could this just doesn't seem like a cold case now, but do you have
This guy talking, I believe his last name's Fitzpatrick. He's a former FBI profiler. This guy, this is what he does. He profiled the Unabomber, and his profile was damn on point. This is what he does, and he's basically given his analysis based on the evidence of what he would be looking for as a profiler of who this might be behind the kidnapping. So this guy's got mega experience at profiling situations like this with the FBI, and he's kind of famous. He's very well known. This is a big interview for Brian. Brian's killing it. Brian Entin is killing it. JLR killing it. Both these guys have been doing great jobs at what they do.
concerns about that?
No, if there's any scaling back, we're talking months down the line. And let's hope there's no other incident anywhere in the
Fitzgerald,
country
thank
that
you.
would then draw people off of this case that, of some sort of large, and serious consequence. So there's not going to be a scaling down anytime soon. I would even say for the next month or two, they may be bringing, certainly the FBI, maybe bringing more people and maybe relieving others. That's how the Unabomb task force worked. There really was no task force until 1994 when the Unabomber came back with a vengeance and killed two people, one in 94, one in 95. And the task force has been put together after he came back. And we were rotating people in and out all the time. I was supposed to only be there.
Is he on your if he's on your Facebook page, please let me know. Send me a message. You can send me a message on my Young Jerks Facebook right here, because I would like to try to get him on the show. So hit me up. Send me a link to his account, please. Please do so. Thank you so much for being here on the from Facebook too. We love our Facebook people just as much as our YouTube people. I know we got a little crazy in the YouTube chat because that's where all the action is, but I love the Facebook folks too. Thank you so much for being
30
here.
days as a brand new profiler, but they kind of liked what I was adding to it, and they kept me on board for the whole time. So yeah, and there's going to be some people that stay there long term, other people in and out. I don't think there's any scaling down of this. This is too
Oh,
important.
I love Vic. Victorine. Thank you so much, Victorine. I love you. You're one of the best mods. We love all our mods. We're glad to have you here. Thank you so much, Victorine. 3 kicking in. Everybody's been kicking in tonight. This is amazing. Yeah, I might be able to afford. I might even be able to afford Tucson now. Maybe I can afford to fly out. Who knows? We'll see. If I can give up all my other responsibilities, I might be able to actually afford airfare. You guys are hooking me up.
Too high profile to the sheriff's department, as well as
Vic is amazing.
other local and federal agencies.
Good addition to the crew
So,
here.
No, they want to get this accomplished. They want to get
He'll
this.
stay at the Omni.
They need to get
He
something.
said I couldn't
I'm
afford
hoping
it.
It's not just finding Mrs. Guthrie somewhere and we'll just leave it at that. No.
That's the funniest thing. Last time I stayed at a hotel like the Omni, I used to stay at hotels like that even better than that, actually, much better than that, because I would win awards at AIG. Every year I would end up at a hotel like that, usually for a week, with free meals throughout the whole thing. It was when I was a financial advisor back then, they would roll out the red carpet for especially the ones that made all the money at the company. I used to have, you wouldn't even believe some of the trips we would go on and some of the food that they would give us. It was just, and when the bosses would take us out for dinner, dude, he has no idea what high rolling is. Like, that life is Capital Grill every night and you're not paying for it. Yeah, the Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, I've stayed at those places. The places with the nice golf courses in Florida and shit. Like, dude, you wouldn't. The best part of one of the places we stayed in Florida, I can't even remember what the name of it was. I'd have to look it up. But the Lazy River, holy shit, this thing was amazing. Like, that's pretty much what we did on our off time. We were just like, we're gonna drink and hang out in the Lazy River. It was fucking awesome. It was just, you wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it.
more graphic, but that would be, of course, give us some extra clues. But I still want to remain optimistic here and think this is not just a body recovery, but this is also a rescue of Mrs. Guthrie. That for whatever reason, this person's keeping her alive and engaging with her at least somehow for whatever psychologically oriented reason.
At those conferences we'd go to, every night a wholesaler would pay for like a fancy dinner with a band. Like you'd have the band, you'd have the, when you get the shrimp cocktail, it's like the biggest freaking shrimp cocktail you've ever seen. You're like, I didn't even know they had shrimp this big. Jumbo.
It's going to be months before people start getting pulled away. And even then, if another lead comes up, which they'll bring people back in 24 hours.
Yeah, I always qualified. I always won the awards.
Do you think there's a chance that this is someone really close to Mrs. Guthrie? I don't know. I know they've ruled out the family. I mean, we did, like you said, we just kind of have to accept the sheriff at his word, even though apparently it's unusual for them to do that during such an active investigation when there's no suspect. But could it be someone close that they're just overlooking?
Yeah, today I bought some shrimp cocktails at Market Basket, but they're the little ones. I couldn't afford the extra jumbo. But now with all these super chats, I might be able to get the jumbo shrimp next time. I may be able to afford that. Instead of these little tiny shrimps.
Like someone else close. Because isn't that normally the case, like statistically?
Yeah, and along with being a profiler, I'm a forensic linguist, and I have a master's in linguistics.
Yeah, there was no stuff in the ballot. Although all those awards at AIG was based on sales, how much you sold, how much money you brought in the company. You bring in the most money, you get the best trips.
When you even said really close, well, let's define really. Let's define close. So all logical definitions we would need here. Yes, it is very likely. And you've talked about it before, and others that have been on the air, the concentric circles that go around. 80 to 85% of homicides are committed by someone known to the victim. That statistic's been around for hundreds of years, going back to Cain and Abel, if you want to go the Bible route. His brother killed him. So yeah, so they have to look at everyone there. They have to rule them out. I'm not a big fan of publicly ruling people out. I think the sheriff, I would have been more comfortable saying we're no longer focusing.
Thank you, Vic, for the $5 Canadian. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much.
On the Guthrie family. But, everyone is still considered a potential suspect as the investigation continues. The sheriff came along and I guess completely ruled them out. And that's fine. They're on the inside. I'm on the outside. They know a lot more than I do. So, but to get to the gist of your question, Brian, yes, this could be someone a little close, really close, adjacently close to Mrs. Guthrie, or certainly the family. Yes. And I mean, there are all kinds of.
I'm putting this up today because I want to make a comment. He's Adam Deich for Norfolk County District Attorney. Today, and his response seemed a little desperate. I gotta say, like he called Juna Perkins' campaign desperate. She's destroying him on endorsements and donations from the actual district. So, and he called her desperate today because she filed a complaint against him for some of his actions in the campaign that don't seem legal. And then he comes back and calls her desperate. I thought that was actually very weak today from him. I was surprised by it, honestly. I was like, are you kidding me? But Jane and a lot of people are still going to support him. And I understand why. Karen Reed is supporting him. Karen Reed made a huge donation as well as Bill Reed. I'm not choosing a side on that campaign, but I'm going to be very honest about what's going on. Thank you, New Hampshire Dude, again. You are the man today. I love it. You want us to go to Arizona? Oh, I would love to go. I'd love to go to Tucson. But I just have so much responsibilities, and I just took a week off. I don't know if I'll be able to swing it, honestly. Some of my customers might start firing me. I don't want to lose my dog customers. I love that. I love having that, little outlet that I get to do.
What really all of us could be conceivably victims of a loved one being abducted. Not all of us are multimillionaires like Savannah Guthrie.
Yeah, no, I'm not in Middlesex County, but I can't vote in Norfolk County
money,
either.
Or that was just like a way down the list. Oh, if I can get, a couple 100,000 for this, that would be great. It was, there may have been some level of jealousy there that I don't believe, Savannah was no different than me growing up. And, why did she get, so lucky and make all this money? I'm just trying to think of cases I've known in the past when some people, I was a police officer in Bensalem Township, suburban Philadelphia, started in 76, young guy right out of college. And right before I got on there was the famous Apt family mass murder, ABT. And I didn't work that case. It was like 6 months before I was hired. And here are six family members, well, actually five family members, one of the girls' boyfriends, teenage girl, and the dog, all killed in the house by gunshot. And there was big headlines in the Philly area before I was even on that department. Who the heck would do?
Hell am I muted? I looked down. I'm sorry. God damn, 5 minutes of mute. Oh, I looked down and it didn't show muted, and then it was. What is? I'm sorry. It was a good rant. It was a good rant about what's going on in that district attorney's race. But let's move on from that. Basically, what he called her desperate today. His response in the PR, which I think is weird because she has more endorsements, which I don't think matter that much, but she has more local endorsements. What I think matters more is the fact that Juna Perkins right now has more donations from Norfolk County than he does. And he turned around and called her desperate today because she filed a complaint against him with the ethics board and the campaign finance board because she feels like he broke the rules. And I thought that was a weak response to come back and call her desperate. It's like, really, dude? She seems to be beating you. And some people have erroneously claimed that he's winning in the polls. Someone said 96%. There's been no polling. No polling has been released that show who's winning that race. I'd love to see it if there were. I think she's doing well. Sorry about the 5 minute mute. God damn. All right, let's get back to the video. I got to stop talking. I'm getting too excited tonight. You guys got me all
Something like
excited.
this. And it turns out the investigation within a few days to a week pointed to a neighbor across down the next block. And here,
I think the complaint is very legit from what she said. She said she heard from a dozen employees that he was emailing their official email accounts. So I think the complaints are legit. They don't really mean much though, because these ethics boards and these campaign boards, they generally don't do much. They're gonna, if they find that he was wrong, they're gonna give him a small fine. That's usually what they do. They'll give him a $500 fine, a little slap on the wrist. He's not going to go to jail. He's not going to be criminally charged. It's just going to be you broke the rules. Do better next time. Here's a fine. It doesn't mean a lot, but I think in public opinion and for people like me that pay attention to this stuff, I think it does mean a lot because it's like, dude, you can't even follow the rules and you're sitting there saying that you're going to be the guy for integrity. And then when you get called out on it and she files a complaint against you, you really don't address the complaint. You turn around and call her desperate, which is I don't think he handled it well. I really don't. Maybe some people that support him think he did, but I don't know, man. This is politics. It's a weird game.
Two of the brothers, and they weren't even the ones killed. They were out that day. They used to tease this kid when he was a youngster,
Yeah.
and
Especially
bully
when
and
she
stuff.
seems
You know,
like
right or
she's the
wrong,
front
we
runner.
discussed that. And this guy, after all these years,
It seems kind of cocky, like this
I'm
dude
thinking that
is assuming he's the front runner because he got a lot of headlines. Because Free Karen Reed supports him, he thinks he's going to win the race automatically without even going to talk to anyone. It seems, and it's like what he was doing was kind of desperate too. Like Juna is getting these endorsements because she's showing up at the town committees meetings. She's showing up people's campaign fundraisers. She's going to the local parades. She's going to the select board meetings. She's going to the community events. That's how she's meeting people and getting their endorsements. This guy is sitting at home sending them illegal emails to try to get their endorsements, which it seems like it's backfiring. It seems like it's turning people against them. They're like, this is shady. Why are you sending me unsolicited emails at my workplace? That's shady, And then he calls her desperate. So I don't know. I just think he needs to get some new campaign advice or something, in my opinion, because, dude, why aren't you out there doing Howie Carr? Why aren't you out there on Boston 25? Why aren't you on WCBB with Ed Harding on Sunday morning? I don't get it. Diana DiZoglio is on Ed Harding, WCVB, Sunday morning, but you're not. That's why she's so popular in the state and is the state auditor.
Out, killed the family. Now,
she also goes on Howie
Savannah
Carr
was
too.
a bully to someone, but there could have been something in their personality that just said, from 20 years ago. Look at the Brown murder, and like I said, our profile, our behavioral characteristics that Ray Carr and I put together were pretty close. And we said this guy has a grievance with Brown and maybe others going back months or a few years. I wish I said a quarter of a century, but that's how long people have these.
You guys made me rich tonight.
These grievances.
Where's that dude? I'm at 97 now.
For years, and the
stop
Brown
counting.
shooter case, a quarter of a century, even longer, with the MIT professor he ultimately killed, going back to Portugal. I think that would have been like 30 years. So
this is the point. Actually, this is a good point. I think you meant it as a dig, but this is the reality, Jay. Jay and Hull Free Turtle TV says, if he came on this channel, Mike would be all Adam Deich for Norfolk County District Attorney. I probably actually wouldn't. The bottom line is I'm not going to endorse somebody. I'm not going to pick a side. But I'd probably lessen my criticism, because that's the thing. That's what I'm saying he's missing. This dude should be going on people's shows. And I'm not just saying my show. He should be doing Channel 5. He should be doing Boston 25 News. He should be doing the Howie Carr show. Because that's how you win people over. And even beyond the shows, he should be going out to the town committee meetings. He should be doing what we see Juna doing every night. I don't see him doing it. He's not I'm like, is this guy a hard worker or not? It doesn't seem like it. He doesn't have a job right now, and he doesn't. What is he doing? She has a full-time law license. She's got a full-time law firm that she runs, and she seems to be working harder for the job than he does, and he's not employed right now. So that's why I'm kind of like, what's going on with this dude?
The victimology, it comes back to that word, which is really the direct answer to your question. Everyone around that person has to have, around Nancy Guthrie, has to have.
Where
their
is
own
Doug? What happened to Doug
circle.
tonight?
And then everyone, and
Doug did a hit and run.
Families' lives.
Is Doug crying with the tissues?
And other lives, have
He's
to be
very
checked
upset.
out.
I got 10 more people.
Criminal records,
Not now.
psychological
I'm good
issues. Well, he's always been obsessed on Savannah. He never misses one of her shows. And that person would have to be focused on.
You're killing me tonight, New Hampshire, dude.
February 2nd.
Love you. Thank you so much.
And take it from there.
Yeah, I never thought as much about this until you started
We've given him
explaining
time.
how
He's
much work
6
they must
months
be doing
out.
behind
I'm
the
not seeing much
scenes in terms
change.
of digging into Savannah's history. I mean, you mentioned even like people from decades ago who might have a grudge against her. I mean, are they just talking to Savannah? Hey, is there someone from when you were in college that hated you? I mean, do they go that deep?
And see, it's much easier with quote unquote normal people that aren't in the media. It just keep it to, her different stage.
See, we're watching this video, but we're all about Norfolk County today. Everyone keeps talking about the DA's race from my video earlier. But yeah, I'm glad you agree now, Jay. Jay is getting. He says, Mike, you're correct there. I will give you that. Exactly. I want to see him work hard. And I want to see him have an ethical campaign and follow the rules. And when he makes a mistake with the rules, which is minor, to actually acknowledge it and say, hey, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. We won't do that again. Thank you, Juna Perkins, for pointing it out. Instead, he calls her desperate, and she's probably the front runner. She's probably going to win it. And this is the point right here, what Rose says. He needs to actually campaign. Like, don't just assume that you've been anointed. That's what's bothering me about this Adam Deitch. It seems like he thinks he's been anointed. Like he's got it in the bag. He doesn't have to do anything. And I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that he's been anointed just because Karen Reed endorsed him. You know, there's a lot more in Norfolk County than just Karen Reed endorsed me, so vote for me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everyone here. I love the civil conversation, even when people don't agree. I love that we can discuss it and we can agree on some things and not agree on other
Of
things.
life that victim's family member will say, but you don't have millions of people watching you on TV. So they have to do exactly what we just sort of agreed upon. All her friends and families, sororities. I mean, who knows what they're going to look into? Certainly down the line. That's probably the stage they are now, and that's why it's not going to be scaled back. At least I would think anytime soon. And I know they're doing their best on the ground there. And the only ones more frustrated than the family are the investigators. And we can talk about public and media people. I have a couple toes in the door of the media.
That's what I look for, because I always say, if they're not working for your vote now, what are they going to do in office? You know what I'm saying? That's my viewpoint all the time. I've been around a lot of these politicians. A lot of times they do work hard for your vote, and then they get in office and they do get lazy. That happens a lot. But I can guarantee you, if they don't work hard for your vote now, they're definitely going to be lazy and not listen to you in office. Like, there's no question in my mind. And that's just a feeling I'm getting from Adam Deitch. Like, he thinks he's anointed. And especially when he said she's desperate. She's desperate, but she has more donations from the district, dude. She's got more endorsements than you. How do you call her desperate when she seems to be winning? You seem to be in second place, dude, from what I see. My metrics say you're in second place until I see a poll that you're actually leading. You're leading with Free Karen Reed, but the rest of Norfolk County, the ones that actually matter in a Democratic primary, she's leading. So that's what I see. And as people are saying, where can I hear the interview? There was no interview. He doesn't do interviews. He gave someone a little statement, and that was it. And I asked him for a statement. I don't think they responded. Like they gave somebody else a statement that published it.
And
but he doesn't do interviews, guys. Too, he won't be interviewed.
But no one more than the family, and of course the investigators, and probably some heads butting in there every once in a while. But the bottom line is they're going to check out every single lead they can and get over any personality issues therein and get this thing done. So that's why you see sometimes late night searches. Why would they be out there at 2 a.m. looking for stuff? And well, maybe because a new shift came in at midnight, working around the clock, and they decided to maybe they have better luck with reflecting type materials that time of night. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it'll be going on, and every single person, as time goes on, that was in contact with the Guthrie family, and not just Savannah. She's obviously the one we all know from her NBC career. But let's look at people that may know the sister and the brother, and gosh, who even knew that the father died, I think, decades ago?
Yeah.
Did he have any enemies? And did somehow someone keep a grudge this long? And maybe it's the son of the person with the grudge. And these are all the things they have to look at. Just look for that person then who has the activity I just described, pre-offense, post-offense. And that's going to help put everything together too, along with whatever the alleged grievance was. And I used alleged, you say grievance here. You and me, it may not, bother us if someone, said something or looked a certain way, but other people can hold on to this for years and years and years, especially if they see someone get successful in one way or the other.
Enough on this. Jim Fitzgerald's very good job. He's kind of given us an idea of what's going on. There's a Brian Entin interview. Someone said they were going to go watch it there, and I don't blame you because I kept interrupting it, and we were talking with the chat about the Norfolk County DA's race. Some people aren't here for that. We've got different topics that we get into here. I hope I didn't turn anyone off on that, but you can always watch it over at Brian Entin. He does a great job. He gets a lot of views. I appreciate his work. It was a good interview from Jim Fitzgerald, former FBI profiler. He's basically saying, this could definitely be someone who's disgruntled, that is a stalker, that didn't like Savannah Guthrie, who's, it sounded like he thought it might be a dude. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I think Jim Fitzgerald might be onto something, especially at this point, because I feel like if it was the family members or somebody close to her, they would have got them, I think, much earlier. At this point, I think that's what the issue on this entire investigation is that it's somebody that is an outlier. And hopefully they're going through all of her fan mail and checking with NBC and all these TV production people and saying, hey, was there anyone weird that was around? Did she talk about anyone that was stalking her? Like you talk to Savannah, I'm sure she knows if anyone was stalking her. Like that's the stuff they need to do. They need to talk to the security people around Savannah Guthrie and figure it out, because that easily could be it. This is Jim Fitzgerald. He used to be an FBI profiler. He was one of the ones that went after the Unabomber. This is so weird because this is a whodunit we still don't know. What I want to do right now is I want to switch it up. And I'll go to my guy, JLR, which I'm surprised to say that because I didn't like JLR. A lot of people know that when Free Karen Reed came around, because he yelled at Karen Reed, called her a murderer. He got in her face. He's had a troublesome past. He blocked me on Twitter. But geez, he kind of won me over. I'm saying it like I'm fair with people. His Tucson coverage has been good. And I'm appreciative that he lets us stream this and that he's been nice to people. He talks to people. He's got a way with him. This guy, he has a way where he gets, and he's not a snob. He's kind of a man of the people. I'm growing a fondness for him. Even though I don't know him, I'm not going to be his best friend, obviously. I try to keep a distance from all these YouTubers because it can get weird. But I'm appreciating his coverage, and I am fair. And I know some people always want to talk about his problematic past, which I get, but I got to be fair. He's done a good job here. And I don't like that the sheriff is trying to push them out because they have done a good job. A lot of his reporting, I've talked about it on the Grace Curley Show, 40 plus radio stations, syndicated radio. I'm talking about what JLR is reporting. So to me, he's a serious journalist here. He's broken stories. Just the fact that he got the Amazon driver delivering after the sheriff complained about the media delivering food there, that's real reporting. He's done it. So we're going to just switch over to him for a little while, see what's going on in Tucson on the streets here.
The car was, and it was like nobody there, wasn't it? Something like that?
I don't know. It wasn't handled well. I remember that.
What other cases have you guys followed?
Oh, any big case there is.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Appreciate you watching JLR Investigates.
We sure do.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Nancy, I seen you emotional
Yeah.
over there. It's just,
I can't
but it shows
imagine
that evil
waking up.
exists, right? Evil,
Yeah, it's evil.
it's pure evil.
If I woke up in the middle of the night and there was someone that looked with that
big.
mask, and I don't know what the fear and terror would be just unbelievable.
I mean, look at Moscow, Idaho.
Right.
Guy goes in the house and stabs 4 people that
Yeah.
are most.
This is a good question. Panda Hug to you says, Mike, do you think all the media presence may be scaring away the kidnapper? Like the attention is too much, so he won't return. He or she. So he won't return her. I think it depends who it is, Panda. If it's a cartel, if it's organized crime, if it's a robbery gone bad, possibly, yeah, I could see that happening. If it's a stalker, if it's somebody who's obsessed with Savannah Guthrie, I think actually it turns them on and they're more likely to be walking by. They might have been on camera with JLR this week. Wouldn't that be something? If JLR actually interviewed the kidnapper. Because if it is an obsessed stalker like that, I bet they are watching all this shit. And I bet it makes them even more like want to keep her alive if she is alive. You know what I'm saying? So I think it depends on who did it. It could be helping it or it could be hurting. It really depends on who did it, right? So that's my opinion. And I don't know. I have no idea who did this at this point.
Somewhere sleeping
Yeah.
in your own sanctuary. It's your own home. It's
Yeah.
your own safe space.
Yeah,
Safe.
right?
It's-
That's the
It's a
key.
place where you have memories. It's a place no one would expect someone to be victimized in their own home. It's terrifying because, you know, even with Moscow, Idaho, and when that case happened, I began to double check my doors at night, particularly my sliding glass door. Like I got one of sliding glass door.
All right, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to turn my volume down or move my mic away a little bit because I have him on blast as much as I can. I have him turned up as loud as I can get him. So I'm going to turn my mic down a little bit. If it's too soft, let me know in the chat. But I'm going to edit my mic settings on StreamYard right now because I know what you mean. Sometimes the person behind the mic is too loud compared to the audio we're watching, and then you got to turn it up and turn it down. It's annoying. So I'm going to put my mic at like half and tell me if that's still too loud. I just turned it down quite a bit. Do you notice a difference already or not? Let me know. Let's play JLR a little more. But I have him on blast as high as I can have the
I just
volume.
lock everything up. I got cameras,
Yeah.
security now.
Yeah.
Lock the doors. Double check before I even go to bed because the thought is someone could slip in and do something.
And it does happen.
He's never
It
given
does.
a motive, and he never will.
It does. And it's crazy that somebody would do that and go into somebody's own house
Yeah. When
To
they're
terrorize.
sleeping.
when they're sleeping. When you're vulnerable, you're in their most
Right.
vulnerable position. You're in your deep sleep. Most people in deep sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is similar in a sense
Yeah, it
because,
is.
you know,
It's the vulnerable population.
if you're in your sleep at night, you're laying in bed.
Yeah. And I mean, really being in a location like this, you would feel pretty safe.
You would think, yeah. I mean, but it shows that you're not safe anywhere either. Doesn't matter if you're in the city, suburbs, rural, mountains. Where's it safe anymore?
I don't know.
Thank you.
And even if it was a target attack, she got hit in her own house.
Why'd they take her out? They were here to burglarize,
Well,
whatever they were here to do.
You think of just a burglar would just elevate it at the level of kidnapping or taking somebody? Like it's just a run-of-the-mill burgler, like some petty thief that goes around and steals out
I
of somebody's
don't-
house.
They don't want to keep their captives. It's a lot of work, too much work for them to keep their captives for a long period of time.
It's a high risk.
It is.
Like we got to
have to
feed
feed
them,
them.
you got to house them, you
You
got to
have to-
clothe them.
you have
You're
to
you know, particularly, you know, if they
Hide
knew
them.
it was Savannah's, you know, and the daughter, it's like high profile. You know, it's going to get the media.
Right. And there's the possibility, too, that if it was random, they might have had no idea it was Savannah Guthrie's.
Well, some people speculate because the next door is involved with the gemstones, the gem show,
Oh,
that
they
this
were
was a
saying
false
that.
address. Like they went to the wrong address. Maybe they realized that after the fact. Oh,
Yeah, I've
but
heard
then you also have to put her in a vehicle. What type of vehicle?
Right.
We talking about a van, a truck, an SUV, a car. Put
And
her in a
that would
vehicle,
not be
front
easy
seat,
to
back.
do.
That's
I
not
don't
one
think
person.
person can do it.
One
I
person.
don't
Well,
think
if the person has a gun, they might be like, "Come with me." Catch somebody when they're sleeping. Maybe put some duct tape around their mouth or something.
Yeah.
And we don't know what
But
what was
no.
in his bag.
But then there has to be some value in keeping her.
Only way would be for ransom. But that's that type of crime doesn't happen anymore. Like this stuff. Like there's too much jewelry and other high-end stuff that people could go target instead of taking a person.
Yeah.
Like a person, a criminal is going to take a person and say, "I want to hold them
Readers.
hostage," or kidnap them for a possible ransom that you know that it's not guaranteed.
Right.
Where they could just go break into a place and steal fine art, jewelry,
Right.
bearer bonds, documents, high dollar items, meats, foods, meat. Who knows, right? But you're going to take a person
Yeah.
and expect that you're going to get payment from that. The person you're demanding money from, like it's not going to be traced back to you, or they're not going to be a sting.
Right.
You're not going to be waiting. Like, oh yeah, they're just going to put a
Yeah.
$1 million at
Leave the
a,
money
at
in
a
a bag on the
yeah, in a
corner.
bag at a picnic bench, and
Doesn't-
not be
doesn't
surveilled.
work that way anymore.
It's not. This is a whole different era.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be somebody with revenge on Savannah because of her job. I thought maybe possibly somebody with her career and her work and NPC and something centered around that, and some could be somebody just watching her on TV and a psychopath, and
Right.
just like these celebrities get stalkers
Mm-hmm.
that come and peek through the windows, and you've heard these Hollywood celebrities that have to get like protection orders against these stalkers that they don't know them from, and they just get fixated because they watch TV and they see somebody. I mean,
She's
before
been on TV for a long time. We watched her on Court TV back in the day when she was an anchor on Court TV.
she was at Court TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's law.
Yeah.
I believe she's a lawyer. Yeah. The thing
She
I
is.
can't
Yeah,
figure
she
out-
is.
Yeah. Why, if they went in through the front door and they brought her out through the front door, why was the back door wide open? They said the back door was completely wide
I never
open.
heard that one.
I heard it right off the bat.
Where?
I don't remember, but they said it wasn't just unlocked; it was wide open.
Well, they've done drone footage here. There's no signs of forced entry.
Oh.
None around here. There's no I can't see any. I've zoomed it in. There's photographers here that zoom it in. Tell me there's no sign, and they've done drone footage of the back. There's no sign of forced entry, unless they fixed whatever, or hide something, but can't see nothing. So they're coming through the garage, side, back, or front.
Where is the garage?
It's over there on the right,
So that's where she went in.
where she got dropped off at. Last person, Tomasa. Garage door, 2 minutes. Closed.
A walk-in garage door or a big garage door?
Looks like a big one. Looks like you can put your car in.
Oh,
Because her car got towed out of there.
yeah.
About
don't
4
know.
days
It'd be
later.
so
That's
much
the
easier
thing. You
driving
don't know
through
how
this
she got in,
roundabout when
how
you
they
go
got
through
in.
the front door if you were dropped off.
Yeah, but if you look at the perp, ring camera's facing you. The perp is coming in on an angle. Walking, you can see him walking on an angle. So if I'm facing
Thank
you,
you, Hampshire dude.
coming from the left side.
You're the man. I
towards an
appreciate you
angle
being here
towards the
tonight.
center. So to me, it's like the perp came over there from the side where the driveway
Love it.
connects with the turn there, or parked on the road
I'm
originally.
definitely getting more steaks.
Yeah.
Anything else you ladies would like to add?
Just pray, hope and pray she is found and she's safe.
Thank you
It
for
has
stopping.
happened before.
Yeah.
People have been found.
They have been found.
It is possible.
Anything's possible.
Yep.
Thanks for your time. And thanks for
you.
watching.
Thanks
Be
for
safe.
being here.
Thanks for being out here for Nancy.
Yep.
Guys, take care. All right.
I know a lot of people feel that way.
You guys wanted something? JLR investigates outside Nancy Guthrie's home. Continuing to talk to people that are coming out, paying respect for Nancy.
You know, that's what I don't get. I mean, even when I've lived in very rural places, and like where I live right now, very low crime rate, a nice area. We still lock all our doors at night. I don't know how some people don't lock their doors at night. It's funny. I just, especially today, especially knowing that even nice rich areas get targeted, you know? But it's funny because I had that FBI agent on. Retired FBI agent was on the show recently, Jodine Weber. JodineWeber.com, WEBER.com. It's a website. And one of the reasons I'm bringing up her website is because she sells items, security items, to protect yourself at your home, which I'm thinking about a lot. You know, unfortunately, we got a lot of snow, so I can't do one of the big fixes I want to do with the basement window. But that's good actually right now because I'm protected. No one's gonna get through all that snow to get through that window. But I'm gonna be, you know, in the spring we're gonna be doing some security updates at my home too. Like we already have some security things going on here, especially because of who I am now with all the crazies out there. But yeah, home security is really important. You know, no, even beyond locking your doors. Are there certain windows that would make easy to get into your house? You know what I mean? You got to start thinking like that. You know, and cameras not only outside the house but inside the house. Very helpful. And pay for those subscriptions, or you know, even Blink. I know Blink, the Blink system. You don't even have to pay. They give you a certain amount of space on your own. You don't even have to pay. So Yeah, she was on to discuss the case. It was phenomenal. You can go look it up on our YouTube. It got a lot of views, a lot of replays, a lot of people watching on the replay. Um, a good amount were watching it live, but I was surprised at how many people watched it after. But I get why, because it was that type of show. We had a really good show. Her and I, we were back and forth. She really threw down that show. She is phenomenal. Jodine Weber, check it out. You'll find it on my YouTube. Yeah, change the camera batteries and like I get the best batteries for those cameras, and I don't even like to get them because they're like you see, the deep state is watching you with those cameras, so you don't have privacy with those cameras. Keep in mind, it's a double-edged sword, but it's better to have them if something happens than not, right? It was a fabulous conversation. It sure was. All right, we're going to watch some more JLR. I'm going to take a break real quick and hit the bathroom, maybe get an ice cream upstairs. You guys want to watch me eat one of my ice creams?
These two ladies said
I'll be
whoever
back.
gets caught, they're going to
Don't
be
leave.
attending the perp's trial or court proceedings. They attend Jodi Arias' trial and Lori Vallow Daybell's trial. They said they're going. I'll be there with you. Hey, save me a seat for the perp when you're waiting in line. I'll hook you guys up. We're gonna attend it together when the perp gets caught. No doubt.
Got to be there at sunup.
Sun up.
Everyone that we've been to, we've gotten in.
Gotten in. They got about 70 seats or something. 50. 25, that's it. Whatever happened to a public trial anymore? Particularly if they don't live stream. They live stream Arizona though, don't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Both of those trials.
And they got probably overflow room too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be here.
What county is this? Are we still in Maricopa County?
This is Pima County.
Yeah.
Pima County. What's going on? You want some Gatorade?
Yeah, I went right up as far as I can go. I'll do whatever until they stop me. Ooh, sorry, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I just want to
You want to talk? You good?
Can I bring mine over? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
What do you do?
No, because I seen you out here. You're streaming.
What do you do for connection? My connection's terrible.
5G, Verizon.
Verizon?
Uh-huh.
And how many bars do you have?
Says 5G. Like
There's
three.
bars,
Three.
three.
But it's weird around here because there's dead zone. You go like in certain areas, it completely drops, and you gotta like reset your phone, restart
Where I
your
am,
phone.
there was 2 bars. That's when it's so like.
Oh, over there it's spotty over by the mailbox. For some reason, whenever I hit the mailbox, it goes blurry.
I have 2 bars right in the spot. Like I kicked the rock, so I know exactly where that 2 bars is, and everything is right there. If you have 3, nothing else yet.
Well, different people have different networks. A lot of people around here have AT&T. I don't think AT&T works.
That's what I
good.
have.
I don't think it works
AT&T.
well around here.
Um,
I'm blessed with Verizon.
I guess. Is 857 here? Is he in here?
857 is not here today.
He said he'll be here around 5 though.
Okay,
So
nice.
I just thought I heard somebody say he was already here. I just haven't seen him.
Maybe some more.
And then it usually wraps up around 7.
So your channel is what?
Ramsey Collective, but I'm doing TikTok today.
I would strongly recommend for your viewers to walk around here pitch black. Give them that perspective, because people's minds will be mind blown when you see how dark it gets. Literally within 30 minutes of the sun going down, it is pitch black in there. So you want to share the truth, stay out at least one time when it's dark. There's still media out here. You got a flashlight?
I think so. I don't remember if that was like the one I have like a lamp.
It just puts it so in perspective to show just how crazy dark it is out here, and just
And
this
nobody
house
uses
is
their
just
floodlights and all that.
no one. I mean, there's lights, but it's very dim on people's homes.
But maybe that's like the attraction.
Well,
for
that's
this
what it
neighborhood,
is.
And that's the selling point.
Yeah,
and I
that
guess
is the
that's why you
selling
wanna
point.
live
So
with
they can
it.
watch
Yeah.
the stars and everything. That is the selling point. It gets you closer to nature and everything.
Yeah.
But it's insane.
But it's also
Because
an
even if
attraction to
even
stuff like this.
even when you drive and put your headlights on, it's only going a certain distance and a certain height, and it's still pitch black. It's
Because
like
of the
dangerous.
hills,
The
too.
hills and
You can
everything.
only your headlights point up, going up the hill. And
Correct.
You can't see left to right or
Mhm.
what's in front of you. Yeah. Which direction is Annie's house?
Annie's house is there. You could go there any direction from here. You go that way, you go that way.
Is it
It's 10 minutes.
walkable?
No, it's not walkable. I mean, yeah, anything's walkable. I mean, it would take you
But,
probably
no, it's
about
4
an hour
miles, Yeah.
and a half to walk.
I just didn't know if there was some way to manipulate that walk, like cut through or anything. like
Well,
that.
I mean, there's neighborhoods. So you go to the south, you go through the rolling hills, you'll eventually get up to First Avenue, and then you cut across to
All right, let me bring my
Rudisill. Or you could go up here and make a left, hit up Orange Grove, and then Orange Grove will take you all the way there. I prefer going this
You've
way.
been here for a bit. I just got.
I know where I'm
don't
going.
these
I don't need
streets.
GPS anymore.
All I know is like Swan Road or something. Like
Yes.
That's it. All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, at nighttime, I just think it's just bonkers. and insane about that. I really haven't seen places ever like this dark. Like, I can't think of a place in Florida that gets so dark. Because there's lights and roads and infrastructure and residential and commercial all over the place. But man, it is creepy at night. I mean, it's not safe. I mean, it's actually dangerous unless you even have a flashlight. It's even hard just to go for a walk. I think the reason they are being so quiet is that there was more blood in the house than a struggle, and maybe that's why they haven't bothered searching. So they're just like Becca Jean, but Becca Jean, they're still saying it's like a search and rescue instead of a recovery. And the sheriff's like, well, we have no indication she's dead, so we're going to presume she's alive. But I do think there's something more in the house there that they are not sharing to protect the integrity of the investigation. My opinion on that one. Thank you for the comment. We don't know what to, we've heard different rumors, like a lamp got knocked down. Was there blood in the house? If there's blood on the doorstep, there got to be blood in the house, because if there's blood on the doorstep, probably has to be a trail of blood starting in the bedroom or somewhere else. Some blood. I do know that they said a mixed DNA in the house. But the story changes so often, so who knows? Great point. We need an update. We don't have an update. That's the problem. We're not getting updates.
You know, it's really ironic too that we've been following crime for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
This is yours. And coincidentally, in 2015,
2015?
we had a family member go missing. Who was
You did?
murdered. Yeah,
I got the
who was murdered.
Really?
a little goodness
Oh, no.
right here.
I mean, I had been
Market
involved with
basket,
search,
meatball sub.
teams looking
My little
helping
snack
with
right
things
now.
like that, and then
I'll throw the mic off when
we
I'm
had a
chewing.
family member go missing, and he was taken from he was murdered right outside his door, taken from his home, and then dumped in a landfill at somebody's home. And of course, everyone live in a small rural area in North Dakota. That never happens. And so they put 5 people in jail for
Ice cream after the meatball sub.
arrest. And then so one person ended up going to prison for it, but never gave a motive. They have no idea why. He had just retired. They have no idea what happened. They have no idea why he was killed. Never a motive given. It was so ironic because we had been involved in so many, different trials, whatever, and it was never people we knew, and then all of a sudden we wake up in the middle of one. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that. I'm sure some people in my chat probably been affected by crime, victim, has a loved one. Have you seen any javelinas today? I have not seen any javelinas in this neighborhood. Javelinas.
Ever?
I've seen one some over at Annie Tomaso, but not over here.
How far is that?
How do you get there?
Drive.
No, we don't know where she lives.
Oh.
Okay.
It's over there. It's over there off of Oracle by the Circle K.
We can find it.
It's out there. You'll find it. There's nothing there though. I mean,
Yeah, that's good. So if we drive up this way, we have to just turn around up there, or can we get out?
drive up, go to the stop sign, make a left, takes you out to Orange Grove, and go there. Probably the best way.
Really nice talking with you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Be
you.
safe. God bless you guys.
God bless you. God bless Nancy.
God bless Nancy. That's right.
So are you organizing that search tomorrow?
I am not.
You just posted it.
You
have no idea about it. Your name's just attached to it.
I'm not. I had nothing to do with that. I mean, I'm just documenting. It's an individual that his name is Alex, and he's just getting people out there, and they're going to do a search tomorrow. And he doesn't know how many are going to show. He says maybe it's 20. It's not technically an organized short search. They're just going to go around, search the roads, and bring awareness to Nancy.
And he didn't talk to anybody in the sheriff's department or anything?
I don't think so.
We'll be watching that search tomorrow. They're going to do.
Yeah, but I think that was more centered about searching on private property. I don't think anyone is prohibited of walking down the road in a group of people searching on public land or inside the roads on easements. I don't think you don't need a permit for that, but who knows?
Well, apparently now they want to, their search is going to be in Mexico tomorrow.
Their searches in Mexico?
If it's not tomorrow at 8 a.m., and the alternative is Wednesday. And they said they went to the sheriff and he just said no. Then I wanted to ask them the specific questions about that. Are you curious about that? You want me to tell you what went down with all that? The sheriff and them and what he said about the searches and why he said that?
What's going on?
Well, because like what they do in Mexico is like they bring excavators out and diggers. Like if they go to a private property and they go and they find something, they immediately get the diggers there and start like digging the property. And that's what they wanted to do like here. And I said, who pays for that? And they said, the people. I said, who pays for this? Per day, that much from the people, these people don't want us here.
Doesn't seem like Pima County wants it.
Well, I think it's not, the county now, I think it's the citizens. That's what they don't want. They don't want to mess with them.
I got to say, those meatball subs from Market Basket, highly recommend. Really good. I inhale that. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Now I'm ready for an ice cream.
Wrapping down the end of the day, folks. JLR Investigates, as we make the commitment while we're here to be out here from sunrise to sunset. We have about another hour to sunset, and we'll continue to see if anything pops off or anyone stops by or any type of anything out here at the scene. There's more about just like media, kind of like wrapping it up. Over here, kind of just got the barriers and these little red cones, and
They put a lot of new barriers up. This is what they're focused on. Pima County Sheriff's putting barriers up. Excuse me. A lot of coyotes, I bet, out there too. Yeah, we got a lot of coyotes in Massachusetts now. Coyotes are good for the environment. They eat mice and rodents and ticks. They keep the rodent population
I
down.
don't have one at this point. I'm open-minded to anything.
Do you think she's here or in Mexico?
I don't believe she's in Mexico, but it's possible. But I don't believe it. I'm open-minded to it being a
this is why I like
cartel
the
gang member
coyotes.
or criminal network that done this for
Where I live, we're starting to see a lot of mice and rodents and or even rats. I found a big dead rat, and I'm like, oh no, because I used to live in the Cambridge and the city in Boston. I just hated the rats. They would literally be so bad that they would chew through your electrical wiring in your car. They would nest in your engine. It was just so gross. And when I started to see some dead rats around here, I was freaking out. But I haven't seen them in a while, and I think it's because of the coyotes. The coyotes take care of all the rodents. It's one of the best things about the coyotes. They get rid of the mice and especially the rats.
a particular objective and purpose. Yes.
Yeah, I agree on that, but it has to be like that.
Money, fame, person.
I mean,
I mean, if you're gonna do this for ransom and money, if you're gonna go that route, you got to know the
There's
person
some
has
coyotes
money, or
out there.
family lineage that has money.
but this had to have been planned out. It wasn't a, hey, let's get her tonight. This was
Oh, there's definitely preparation with this.
kind of, they knew.
I mean, even with Moscow, Idaho, when he going, it appears that he was pings around that area, stalking the house out and everything like that. There's preparation, buying the supplies you're going to use to do the crime. Sometimes over a course of time, sometimes within the first couple days before the crime is committed, you're going to Walmart, Lowe's, hardware store to get something centered around
I'll
what
be
you're going to
back.
use
I'm
for the
getting ice
crime,
cream.
right?
Right.
Searches, internet searches about your target.
But like specifically with this house, like when I was talking with those two gentlemen over there, standing on her driveway, like just standing there, like you can't walk on that driveway and not hear
Footprint.
that, right? And now you're walking that whole part up. And as I was standing there, you see branches on the driveway. How did this, and you just said how pitch dark it gets here tonight. So how
Yeah.
did this guy know that he wasn't gonna be walking, already making noise, and then trip over one of those branches? And they're not small, they're legit branches.
Yeah.
So there was, like, he knew that, whoever it was, knew this area, knew that walkway, and also knew there's a lot of rocks up there.
Yep.
And knew that if they misstepped on one of those rocks, there wasn't going to be a rock avalanche either. There was going to be no noise. And to me, that makes it more personal. Somebody knew this property very well. And this isn't a property that's set back like I see these other ones. Somebody could have just been walking by and seen somebody walking up. They knew what time, how to get, like, how to avoid being detected. Knew that there was no subscriptions being paid.
Why no vehicle? I'll say this every single day. Why no vehicle?
Or we just haven't been told about the vehicle yet.
I think they have a
About the
legal
Tepe case.
obligation to share about the vehicle.
Remember the Tepe case not too long ago, Spencer Tepe. They didn't
Love my
find the,
drumsticks. That's what they
license
call
vehicle
drumsticks. Yeah.
until a week later, and he parked it 2 blocks away, I think. That wasn't that far, you know. And that was a very
We're
like
eating over
city
here.
kind of area. Oh yeah, it was. It was like a suburb. It was a college town. I had the whole video of the whole area. Every single house had a camera. Like maybe 1 or 2 didn't.
Thank you, Pat Brooks. Our chat is lit. And the power of prayer. Got a comment earlier. The power of prayer.
So I think
Melissa
if
Wildchild.
they did see a car, maybe they
Wild
just
card,
wanna
thank
tell
you.
us because they know what the public is doing with this information. And do you also remember them mentioning twine on the first day?
Line.
Yes. On the first day they mentioned twine. And then they would never mention that again.
Misty Haynes. 8885. Thank you so much, Misty Haynes. As always. As always. Says, let's get things rolling. Obviously, we will have no updates as long as this sheriff has anything to do with it. Protest outside the station, question mark. Put the pressure on him because he is the reason this case is not and is not going anywhere. He doesn't
right.
want to. So let's make him speak.
JR
Misty,
is right on
with
this.
her advocacy, compassion. I do think, though, that citizens over time might take matters in their own hands in reference to doing searches and, you know, trying to find answers, because this is just, the longer it drags out without any clarity from authorities and silence from the authorities, they're going to feel like they have to do their best and try to do something to find Nancy. But a lot of people feel the same way about the sheriff, you know, with the handling this case. He does have supporters. I've seen supporters online. A lot of people in this chat don't support him. I see more that don't than do in this particular case because of what they witnessed this case. Our chat is not dumb. Our chat has been paying attention to this case. You know, every theory is a theory, right? We don't say like really crazy theories, whether we express them all, but we've listened to these press conferences. We've seen a lot of you cover true crime. A lot of you watch true crime. A lot of you have listened to law enforcement handling other true crime cases. A lot of you in the chat. Our chat is not new to this. Most of the viewers have seen other cases and seen how law enforcement handled other cases. And people are very, you know, they're worried about this case. They're worried about who's handling this case. They're worried about, you know, where this case is going to go, not go. And comes back to the sheriff, and people in our chat are not happy with the sheriff. And I personally see myself while playing each press conference that we played, you know, from the first couple of days of this before we came out here, boots on the ground. We've listened together in the chat these press conferences and listened. And here we are, 21 days. No Nancy. Tina Bray, thank you. 4755. But, you know, our chat knows a lot about true crime and how true crime cases revolve around the media covering it and the whole process, right? But at the same time, if you don't have nothing, if law enforcement has nothing to go on, like no vehicle actually to go on, and really generally don't know who the perp is, then it might take a while. And it looks like it is taking a while. And this could be like, buckle up, folks. We could be
Funny, you bring that up. New Hampshire dude 603 sent $10, 10 more dollars. He's the most generous super chatter tonight. He says Mike doesn't like a rat or rats. I don't like rats. I did like the rat. I know what you're talking about. The rat skeller at Bridgewater State College. We used to be able to drink beer in there. Sometimes they'd do some performances. They had the pizza. You could get your pizza and your beer. Oh, that place was great. I love the rat skeller. I also like the Rathskeller in Boston. There was a Rathskeller in Bridgewater at Bridgewater State. There's also the Rathskeller in Boston. You know Boston, Kenmore Square, where all the bands would play back in the day. I love both of them. I like both of those rats. Totally love them.
6 months, years into this. And it's sad. You know, Savannah's family could be communicating with Nanos every day. And Nanos is assuring them that he's going to find the killer, you know, and Savannah's family could be supporting the sheriff and saying, thank you very much. We're grateful for you and your department on helping us.
I don't know too much about JLR. I know that he went to jail. I know that he did some problematic things to victims in Sandy Hook. And I know he's filed a ton of lawsuits. He also had a beef with the Glera, which I kind of like now looking back on it. It's kind of funny. He probably did the first expose on the Glera. So him and Will do not get along. And I think because of that, JLR showed up for the Karen Reed trial one day and screamed at Karen, called her a murderer, all this crap. So I didn't like that. It's one of the reasons he ended up blocking me on Twitter, because I went at him like a lot of people did who were free Karen Reed. But watching him here in Tucson, he's done a good job. Like, I like his streams. I like the fact that he lets us stream it. I like the fact that he's nice to people. He stayed out of the way. He's been polite to law enforcement. You know, the ones that come along and say, "Hey, we need to clear this area out." That happened today. He was like, "Fine." So I think he's been respectful here. I don't know if he's had a change of if he's changed from the past issues. I don't know. I support what he's doing right now, and I hope it continues in the same spirit. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt until I see differently, and especially somebody who's paid the price and maybe come back from that and redeemed himself. But that's what I'll say about JLR. I don't know too much about him. I appreciate his coverage. I like what he's doing here. And I like that he's not a snob to people. He's getting more views than anyone else out there, but he's nice to all the other media and especially the other YouTubers. And you could see the other YouTubers like him. So he's doing good here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and we have faith and trust in you. We're not there. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm trying to be objective here. In a sense, I've made my mind up on some things, but subject to change. But you guys are feeling the same way. This is just mind-boggling. Hello. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hey, JLR, can you find the psychic to interview or have one ride around with you in the car? Maybe they could feel something. Hey, if you're a psychic, yeah, I'll do that. Paul Malone says, find a psychic, have them drive around with you in the car. Maybe they can feel something while out there. Absolutely. If any psychic is out there, medium, psychic, come on out. I'll be here tomorrow. You can come in the car with me. We can go for a drive and you feel what you feel. Yes, I will do that. If a psychic or medium comes, I'd love to hear their perspective by looking at the house and what they're vibing, and we can go for a drive.
That's right. Victorine is working too.
You know anybody that
We're
wants
all
to just
working
come out
over
here,
here.
make a difference, and share? And
we're working too.
Come on. You see the email tips at
Yeah, he did his time. He did a lot of time. Yeah.
A message.
That's the thing. I know quite a few guys that went to prison and then they straightened out their life. We may be having one of them on the show very soon, Dave. Doing really well. Sometimes people need to bottom out, and sometimes prison is the wake-up call. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times people get more into crime after they go to prison because it extends their network. They hang out with more criminals in prison, so they plot more crimes, but sometimes it goes the other way. And I hope that's for JLR. It seems like his coverage has been fair. It's been good.
Absolutely. Where are the birds? Hear the bird? There it goes. When that went. Bird. Go Birds. Arizona Cardinals. I really do think there will be a break at one point, something. I do. And it could be any minute, any time, any hour, anything. Like, I don't think they're resting on the weekend right now, these investigators. I do think they're working around the clock. They want to solve this case to prove us wrong. All of us critical of law enforcement, they want to solve this case to kind of show it back to us that has been critical of them. For sure. They want to do it to solve the case because that's their job, and they're doing it for Savannah's family, justice for Savannah's family. They want to solve it. They want to solve it. Can't see how they wouldn't want to. The public and YouTubers found Gabby Petito and helped with many other cases. They would be lost without the public's help. Be careful what you wish for. The public gives them tips. That is the public helping them. They get the tips. A lot of these cases, there's a tip. There's some sort of witness, saw something, you see something, say something, you jotted something down, something. Most of the time, it is the public that really contributes to these cases getting solved. The public. Absolutely. Cooperation from the public. A witness cooperating, witness somebody, puts the pieces together, find out who the perp is. It takes one vigilant person. It takes the perp or the perps to make one little slip-up mistake. Just one mistake. One mistake. Somewhere. Kennedy. This is Luke Reed done by kidnapper Reed. Timothy 3:3. You do this for profit and the lust for money, but it didn't work. Bring Nancy home. Come forward. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Beautiful.
Do the right
there.
thing.
Look at the beauty. It's beautiful with the mountains.
Bring Nancy home. If you're watching, perp, just do it. Stop doing this to this family. Stop doing this to everybody. You're not gonna win. You will get caught. Just stop. There's no need to hold somebody there, or if you did something with her, just accept responsibility. They're gonna find you, and you're going down. You're going down. Turn yourself in. Enough. I don't know if they would listen to me or any of you. Perp has to have a mother. Had a mother. Yes, perp. Give it up. Give it up, perp. Perp, give it up. Turn yourself in. If you know who did this, collect the money. It's a major, major reward. Collect the money. Turn your snitch. Tell. Tattletale. Do what you got to do. Turn this person in. This person's not a hero. If you know who did this, even if it's your own family member, and you know your family member did this, turn them in. Turn them in. You'll get money. Lots of money. Turn them in. You'll be a hero. Turn them in. Someone out there knows the suspect. Call 911. Turn them in. Family member has to recognize that perp. That perp has to have a family member, a sister, another brother, a cousin, aunt, uncle, grandma, somebody. Mother, father, somebody. Friend. That are not involved with this, but knows who did this. Turn them in. Do you think this will be about a gambling debt? People kidnap somebody for gambling debts. The mafia used to go and bust kneecaps, strong arm people, but I don't think they kidnap people for gambling debts. This perp has family. This perp is not a lone person without anybody in their life. The perp has family. The family. You know, when they put an image all over TV, family member, when they know, they know. They know. Stop being quiet. Stop being... Just turn them in. Turn them in. Tonight, just call 911. You can be anonymous. Be anonymous. You don't want to be... You don't want your face out there. But here's the thing about it is... Let me give the... Okay, let me say this too, and this is real talk. If the perp's family, whoever the perp's family is, they're going to be... Their names are going to be thrown under the bus and, dragged through the mud when this perp gets caught, simply for being a family member of the perp. As soon as the perp gets identified, everyone's going to go all over the internet and pull every single picture, social media, digging into the family and everything of the person. It's just how it works. But if the perp's family turns them in, the internet will love the perp's family. You get what I'm saying? Every time a suspect
Absolutely.
gets caught in a high-profile crime, the sleuths, the online people, everyone starts digging in on the family of that perp and sharing who their siblings are and who they are, and they do every deep dive on them.
The Unabomber.
It happens.
It was the brother that turned
You
him
know
in.
it.
His brother.
Y'all know
His
it.
brother figured it out. His brother's like, it's It's my brother that did it. He knew from the
But
letters.
if the perp's family turns them in, they could be looked at as the white knight, the hero, the savior.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Much appreciated. Thank you for
Plus
becoming
a
a member,
$250,000
Brian
almost.
Haley 40. I love how generous this audience is. They keep talking about the
Usually perp
numbers,
gets
but
identified, the media
your
is gonna hound in
generosity,
the perp's family.
how generous you
The
are.
perp, don't do this to your
speaks.
family. Your family's going to be under a microscope. They're going to do everything and find out anything about your family, perp. They're going to do everything about your family. They're going to drag your family into this. They will. They will. You know it. They will. Don't do this to your own family. If you're the family, turn them in. Turn them in. Turn in the perp.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe, please. Thank you, Brian.
Swig of Gatorade. I'll be right back. Got some Gatorade going. Gatorade.
Apparently, there's some good spaces going on tonight too. I'm wondering if I should switch over and air some spaces. Has anyone been checking out some of the spaces on X tonight? Is anything popping off over there? Looks like there's a good one right now.
Not too late.
Should we air it on the show?
Not too late.
What do you think? Should we stick with JLR and Tucson, or should we switch over to the spaces going on about Turtle Boy? What do you think in the chat? What do you want to watch?
Of Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, vanished from this home. Kidnapped. Could be alive, might not be alive. You just don't know. This crime. Catalina Foothills, beautiful Catalina Foothills. Everybody around here is kind. Neighbors are shocked to the core. What happened at that front door? What happened at that front door? Look, there's a light right there. Wonder if it was on. Railing. How is a perp gonna just pick this house? A random burglary. Explain to me. Nancy Guthrie's home.
You want to go to the spaces? There's one vote for the spaces. People want to see the Turtle Boy stuff. They want to go to the spaces. You want to go to the spaces.
That
Keeping
door
it
right
real.
there. It all went down that we saw.
How many people want to stay with JLR right now?
You know that door. We've seen the image over and over again.
So far,
we
it seems
try
like
our best
people want
to
to go to the
analyze
spaces.
the perp. Pinky
we're seeing
finger,
this.
right-handed,
You're the
left-handed,
same votes for the
facial
spaces, I get it.
features, built, clothing. What really happened?
I know. I love looking at that sky, especially knowing we're getting all
Little
this snow.
breezeway hallway there. What is that called? It goes in a little bit. It goes in a little bit. And then the door. Yeah, I'm going to check everyone's email when I'm off the stream.
Alcove?
Within the next hour or so.
Call that an alcove.
What happened in this doorway here?
Another vote for the spaces.
Foyer.
Are you going to leave? You're tired of waiting? You're going to go over?
A foyer.
Yeah, we can go back to JLR. You know, that's a good point. We can't go back to the spaces. We can go back to JLR. So, you know what? I'm going to bring up the spaces for a little while and see if it's a...
Something
You never know. It might not be that good. You never know. Sometimes they get off topic. The problem with the spaces is when you air them on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, sometimes you really can't, you get kicked off a lot. Like, I'm not even finding it right now. Hold on, let me just look on my phone. I'll find who's doing the space tonight. Who's hosting?
Something
Bean.
happened in here.
Nikki Bean? Hold on. Let me see if I can find him on. We'll switch over to the space for a little while.
People,
Go
some
to the
people's main
spaces.
accounts in their burner and any account that I also thought was their burner. And then all of a sudden today I have like new burners that are like extra fucking angry in my comments. Basically about like trying to sell that same narrative, like, oh my God, she fucking loves Kate Peter. She
You
supports
guys hear it?
ASKR. She loves the McCabe's. Like just bullshit. It's like, bitch, that's not what the fuck I said. Like, like, what are you saying right now? But yeah, it's I don't even remember what we were talking about. I think, yeah, we brought up the incident with Kate addressing Karen, and I just pointed out my perspective over the big picture, not the incident itself, right? Because I don't really care about that. That's like nothing to talk about. But the bottom line is that the words they were putting in my mouth were shit. Hold on, I didn't even see you fucking dropped off. Wait, let me add you back. Haley, are you actually added back now, or is it?
Yeah,
Because you know
sorry.
it looks weird on my end.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you still hear me? Well, could
Yeah,
you hear me at all, or were you did
Can
it
you
drop
hear
off
me?
completely?
I can hear
I
you.
was hit by a sniper, but I'm back. So if you could just
We're
rerun that
sniping your
for me, that'd
I
be
space right
great.
fucking
now. Thank you
hope you
very
were not
much.
hit by a goddamn sniper. Like, what the fuck? Um,
I hope
yeah,
you are
just
not.
basically like people were just repeating shit that just wasn't accurate. Saying that I didn't support Karen or um yeah, that what some I think someone made a post something about us being fucking moles from like the incest. Just really stupid childish shit. Honestly, that I just don't give a fuck about. I couldn't reply to like every fucking comment yesterday because it was just so many. I replied to a few. Like I said, I blocked some people. Just a bunch of bullshit. At the end of the day, like I supported Karen because for me personally, cars can't bite
I'm
people.
gonna
That's
turn
just
up a
full
little
stop.
louder too. Hopefully, don't
It
tell
had
me if
nothing
it's
to
too
do
loud.
with just like, I support her because I have some type of allegiance to her. Like, no, I'm just a right is right, wrong is wrong type of person. And in every situation, I try to see, like, I try to understand and see all sides and understand all perspectives, right? Regardless of my personal opinion, I'm never going to
Mm-hmm.
change that. Like, I'm always going to try to do that. For me, I think that's a fucking good thing. And the people that were just irrationally fucking angry and making all these weird ass posts and comments on my shit are not people that I would associate with in real life anyway. Because I like it's weird. I'm not a fucking drone, right? I don't want to associate with people who are drones. Um, and I'm just also not a hypocrite. Now, when I say I'm not a hypocrite, though, I don't mean like I'm perfect. I think we're human. We're always gonna have a situation sometimes where we're kind of being hypocritical in that situation, right? Like if it
Mm-hmm.
comes to shit about your kids, if it comes to shit about your family, I understand that. Like I get that. Um, so I don't know. I guess just me having that same perspective, I guess, when it comes to Kate just made people extra angry. Um, I had to explain to someone's comment, I think yesterday, like, listen, just because I disagree with someone, that's not going to make me dislike them. And just because I dislike someone, that's not going to make me disagree with everything they say because I dislike them. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
that's fucking stupid to me. Um,
But like that concept, I think, like, and I struggle with it on the regular, right? But I have to like hold that shit in. I will
yeah.
watch people like fucking terrorize someone else for saying like, oh, like he shouldn't have done that to Kate Peter, right? Like that could be a factual statement, or like in my opinion, I don't think he should have done that. And I can say that, and people be like, Haley, how fucking dare you? Off with your head. But then in the same breath of air, you've got people posting my full name and address, pictures of my kids, and you still tee-hee with them because you don't want to be involved. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I have to repress that on a daily basis. But there's this expectation that you're supposed to know everything about everyone all at once if you share an opinion on something. And then also, if somebody has done something that somebody else dislikes or has repeated that behavior, then suddenly it's not okay for you to say something as objective of like, hey, like you shouldn't have gone into
Woman
that
named
lady's
Haley
house
speaking
or
right now.
whatever. So it's like I feel like there's no nuance because people feel so passionately about the case or whatever, but like also like not everybody, it's not that deep to everybody. You know what I
It's
mean?
funny
And
at
it
this
shouldn't
point. I want to
inspire
go
the
back to JLR, but I'm doing
reaction
it for
that
all
people
you.
have
So
over
if you
something
want to
that
go back
they
to
don't even understand
JLR,
the context of
tell me in
anyway.
the chat.
Yeah, like
I'm
some
leaving
of the
it to
fucking
my
comments
chat
I
to
got
decide.
were crazy. I'm like, you guys would not say this
One
shit
person doesn't want to
in real
watch it.
life,
Gia
like
doesn't
in
want
my
to watch
fucking
it.
face.
I get it.
Like, I
Period.
had to get to a point where I'm like, you know what? Let me just
I
stop.
thought we were gonna have some good
I'm
revelations
gonna just stop
tonight, but it's
reading, and
kind of just
I'm over
complaining
like
about
replying
people.
to everyone. I kept the fucking spaces up, but I ended up cutting off the comments to most people, not everyone, because it just got fucking ridiculous. And then it goes back to like I'm just a very very logical, realistic person.
Yeah, top. I like that.
I don't know if it's because
I think
of
we're gonna go back to JLR.
my
You
field.
want
You
to
know,
stay
I've
for
been
a few?
doing
We'll
what I
stay
do
for.
for a long time. I'm not gonna get
Let's
into
go
that,
back.
but I have to be that way. I can't allow
JLR.
my like personal
You guys
feelings or
asked for this.
emotions
Remember, you asked for this.
to get in the way of me being able to think clearly or do what's
You
logical
want
or
to go
do
back
what's
to
right.
Nancy?
And so
Sounds like
just
everyone
most
wants
things
to go
in my
back to
life, I
Nancy
just view things
JLR
like
now.
that. It's not that deep. Like and then the other piece of that too, when it comes to Kay, and this is the thing. So like the way my stance and my opinion on things is not
Yeah, it's
new.
more. It was more about
I've
Kate
been
and
this way with
the petty
everyone,
arguments.
even
It looks like.
when I started to comment on Jen
All right,
Altman or even
we'll go back
the
to
John
JLR.
Barron account. I've had
Yeah, you
people
wanted something
say things to
juicy.
me like, "Oh, you know, they were nasty
No,
or
I'm
they
with you.
did
I want
whatever. I don't
JLR.
like them
I didn't
because
want
they're
to
evil."
actually go
Yada
to the
yada,
space, but I just wanted
whatever.
to see what you thought.
My thing, and I get that. Hey, look,
All right, we're gonna get rid of the space. We gave it a shot. Let's go back to JLR, our friend JLR. He's looking at the door. He's looking at the doorway right now. He wants to know what's going on the doorway over there. And the alcove. That was the word he was looking for. The alcove. Alcove doorway.
It's like an archway. Y Hill, thank you. Y Hill.
Yeah, that's when you can tell they're getting a little heated when the F. I remember there's a few weeks of me and Turtle Boy when I was talking about. I was like, I've never said the F word so many times in my life. That's when I knew I needed to take a break. I'm not using that word like that anymore, am I? I just have a laugh now. It's better.
What the heck happened here?
Does everyone hate John Barron? I don't know. I know that you say he's racist, and I get that, and I don't like that part of him. He is kind of racist. Young black economist, but sometimes I find him funny. Like, he's a smart guy in some respects. And he can be like, some of his put downs against some of these trolls is hilarious. So I'm torn on it, YBE. I have a love-hate relationship with John Barron. I kind of like his balls. Like, I don't know. Don't hate on me for it. But I get what I think your criticism is valid of him, though, as well. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, another super chat. We're raking it in tonight. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to order more steaks. We're not going to skip out at Market Basket. We're getting all the super chats tonight.
Let's go in here and have a seat. We talk. Looking a little cold out here once the sun goes down. You can feel it. We'll go out there, watch the sunset next 10 minutes, but we'll go in here and chat. Keep the thing out here. Keep the conversation going.
Yeah, we get to watch the sunset.
JLR investigates. Where is Nancy Guthrie? Where's Nancy?
Where is Nancy? That's the question.
Here better.
Where is Nancy?
Plug this in. Rumor has it the sheriff is putting a stop to the search tomorrow. I don't think he can stop it, but that would be crazy, right?
Does he know that? That's the thing, YB. I think you should let him know that you kind of like him.
Like
You just don't want him to be racist. Maybe he might try a little harder. Because he is kind of funny. Some of the shit he says, I'm just like, oh my God. When they said pick who John Barron looks like, I picked the guy Colonel Sanders. I picked him as Colonel Sanders.
A lot of new members in the chat. I appreciate the new members. Thank you for being members of JLR Investigate. Christy Foster, 9526. Not sure if I saw this earlier, but I'll read again. Thank you for your unwavering commitment, JLR, with your consistency and attention to detail. You're making a significant impact. God bless you. Thank you. Very grateful.
You know, the other thing I like about that dude as well, it's my bias, John Barron, is I know he's from north of Boston. I just, by his accent, I would pick him to be either Somerville, Malden, Revere, Lynn, somewhere around that area. That's I hear the accent and I'm like, I know that accent. I know people from that area. I think he's a Revere Beach guy. I don't know. I really don't know anything about him, but I like the accent because it's the accent I grew up on. You know, he's got that accent. It's my bias.
For that, thank you. California, Madison 2013. Saturday is Snitch Day. Saturday Snitch Day. Hey, that's a good one. You know how we have like Wackadoodle Wednesday, Maniac Monday, Felony Friday. Saturday Snitch Day. Perp. That's a good one. If you're the perp out there watching, or if you know the perp, or know something about the perp, it's Saturday Snitch Day.
Saturday Snitch Day. we want
snitch on the perp.
Snitch on
Collect
the perp.
the money.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's a lot of money at
$200,000 can get you a long way. It really can.
It
can make a difference in somebody's life. It can get you started.
Snitch, but I'd
it can
stitch
get
for
your kids
that one.
educated. It can pay your
Just to
bills
help
for a year. It
Nancy
can pay
out,
your
her family.
mortgage off. Pay your rent for significant years. You can take care. You can pay your debt down,
we need to go
student
back to the
loans,
space.
whatever.
Chris Koala's up. I wanna hear what-
$200,000 reward plus.
Hold on one second. We are going to go back for a second.
Pay
Chris
your
Koala's
taxes.
up. Let's see what he's
Property
got to say.
taxes. Whatever.
He's a different bird. I'm going to bring it back to the not yet. Let's play a little longer.
Medical bills.
We're going to go back to the spaces for a second.
Down payment on a house. That's $200,000, folks. Saturday Snitch Day, $200,000. I don't think they tax rewards, do they? No, I don't think they tax. No tax on rewards. Do they tax? Do they?
We're going to switch back to the
No.
space for just
Some
a
people say
minute.
yes, I'm saying no. I'm not
lying about how she feels about the situation. Like, if she wholeheartedly believes that Karen killed Jock, she has a actual relationship with these people. What in your mind makes you think that she's not going to feel super emotional about that? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and the main thing I was trying to get out too is that I was like targeting the people who think Aiden's not guilty, right? So they think Aiden did it. So I'm like, okay, well then why are you mad at this person for doing that then? Or why are you trying to say that's witness intimidation? And that was the hypocrisy that I was pointing out during the spaces. Like, well, all these other people like were up in arms about what Kate did. And I said, okay, but like here you are defending the stuff Aiden's done. So like, what is like, you know, it's just it's a ridiculous argument that they were making, and that was the point. I was trying to make, I think Babs was trying to make as well, and a few others. But it kind of like sometimes people like if they really don't like someone, and a lot of people don't like Kate, like in that way, like they don't see that part of it. They just want that person ripped to shreds. And like I said, if you want to do it, all they have to do is hit the request button, right? Beans on your space or my space or something, hit the request button, they can come say what they want to say. But a lot of the times they don't. And if you don't want to say it yourself, don't expect other people to say it.
Exactly. And I'm not. And then this is also the crazy part. Even when the trial was going on, I've always been able to think clearly like this, and I've always been self-aware. There are plenty of times where I would make posts and I would literally own that this trial has us all acting like fucking psychopaths in these comments. I was very aware that I was pretty irrational, right? I felt strongly while the trial was going on. It was some antis I had more respect for even during the trial, but some it's like I didn't even want to hear what you had to say. I'm automatically just coming at you,
All right, I think
right?
we're gonna
Like
go back
we're
to
being very
JLR.
fucking rude and nasty to each other.
I thought Chris
We got
Koala
down in
usually
those
drops some
comments.
good stuff
I
tonight.
own
Yeah.
that
It's
shit
not.
even when the fucking
You can
trial was
tell they're
going
just
on.
talking about the
It
Again,
was
I'm
bullshit
aware
that's
that I'm being
controversial.
irrational. That's not like why the fuck do I have a problem with these people that don't even
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to JLR. We're going back. Go back and forth here.
by turning this creep in, get this creep off the streets. You'll be looked upon, literally.
Sunset
You'll be
with
looked
JLR.
upon as a hero, a savior. Misty Haynes wants to go protest. Like, protest the sheriff.
This is JLR. His website is YouTube. Excuse me. That's what JLR
Just find
stands for.
Nancy.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates.
This is needle in the haystack territory. I mean, I just looked up on Google. Yes, a reward for finding a missing person is generally taxable in the United States. Here's how it works. Reward money is usually taxable
Get
income.
right back to.
If you receive money for providing information or helping locate a missing person, the IRS typically treats it as other income. It is taxable because it is not a gift, it is not a rebate, it is money received in exchange for providing information or services. So the IRS is going to tax you. So taxable. Is it a gift? JLR investigates continuous coverage of Nancy Guthrie as the sun starts going down in the next 15 minutes. I could just sit here and read all your comments all day long, folks. Hey, Brad, Jewett, 8295. On behalf of us here, thank you. Your work is appreciated. Well, thank you. Very grateful for you to be here. Keep it cute. Boo says, I think you should call it a night and get some rest. Tomorrow's a big day for a search. No, we stay here from it's getting dark soon, so obviously I am leaving soon. And just we're leaving soon. I'm leaving soon. So many comments coming up through. Yeah, I could go up to the road and hit the sunset here in a second so we can look at the sunset as it comes down. I'll go to the top of the road. They didn't do any searches around here like they were canvassing. There will be searches tomorrow. Or at least a small group of people, maybe a large group of people show up. JLR, why did you turn to crime? Passionate about covering true crime. Are you going to search tomorrow? Yeah, I'm going to stand by with the people and look too. Yes. Just tried. Scorpio says, I just tried to call Pima County and the lady told me they're not taking any tips. They told me to call FBI. Are you serious by that? Well, that's crazy. Badfinger, 690. You're doing great work. This case does not make any sense at all. It doesn't, Brad. Or Badfinger, Badfinger 690. Badfinger. It makes no sense right here. I am stumped trying to understand this. Because, you know, the law enforcement is radio silent. And it's like, whoa. And again, as we discussed, I mean, it could be any scenario. You don't know, I don't know. Only the perp knows, and the people around the perp knows what this is all about. As of now, the law enforcement could have a guy in their sights right now that we just don't know, and they're just digging and digging and digging and digging, and they're waiting for proof. As you heard about the gun shop owner, numerous photographs and names. One of them could be the perp they think is the perp. Why don't they just put the names out of the people they went to the gun shop that they feel, and just throw their names out there and see if anyone says anything. I mean, can they legally do that? I don't know. I think it would be like ripe for lawsuits. I also think some of these people that have already been detained are going to sue Pima County for that craziness. I mean, the perp has to know that law enforcement's coming. Can't, like, element a surprise the perp in this time. The perp probably is not sleeping at night very well. Sunset Hill on the hill, please, and Mel needs a chair. Mel has a chair. Tiff Chia. Thank you, Tiff Chia. Dells in Mist 18 says, what are your thoughts on the Sheriff's Department report that was filed Saturday, 1/31/26, 5 p.m. that reported her missing? I appreciate her. A lot of people say that. I think it's a misprint personally, but who knows? Sheriff also said Saturday out of his own words, so I don't know. Saturday was the 31st. Maybe they're trying to tie it in at last scene, or maybe the sheriff misspoke some way, shape, or form. Sally Rodriguez, thank you. Mandible's watching from New Hampshire. Mandible. Thank you. All right, let's go watch the sunset. We're gonna go watch the sunset. Up the hill, top of the hill. People want to see the sunset as the sun goes down. Pima County, Catalina foothills. Mel needs a chair. Somebody said. Mel needs a chair, but sunset, please. Got a sunset request. Pretty good sunsets up here, top of the hill. Do a sunset. Please, we all appreciate the sun. The light goes away tonight, folks, but we don't ever turn the lights off on this channel. We keep the spotlight on the situation. Openness and transparency. All right, we got about 10 minutes till the sun goes down or so. Enjoy. See how it looks. I could change position. It is absolutely stunning. Hey, Sue Ellen. Watching the sunset. Got an amazing sunset. Yeah. My goodness, it's like $1 million sunset. How are you doing? I'm doing well. You like the new traffic cones? Is that better? What? The traffic cones and everything, is that better? Marginally. We'll see how it goes. Does the sun always set over that mountain or does it shift? What? Does the sun always set over the mountain or does it shift?
It'll move towards the north.
Oh, it does. Okay, so it goes that way.
Yeah.
I watched it yesterday. I like the colors. I take a picture. You know, I've been out here every day, so I take a picture.
Yeah, it's nice.
When it's done. Yeah, because it's cooler here because you're up on a hill like here.
Well, right now that's true. In the summertime.
Summertime?
It's hot.
It's hot. 100 degrees out here, Sue Ellen.
Have a good evening.
You too. Take care. Thank you. Be safe. Hopefully this ends soon.
What?
Hopefully this ends soon. I'm going to send you coffee. Remember I told you I'm going to send you coffee.
I have good coffee.
I know, you're a coffee drinker. You're the coffee drinker.
Well, enjoy the sunset.
Yes. You have a good night. That's the neighbor, Sue Ellen. I'm gonna send her coffee. She keeps telling me she likes her own coffee. I said to send you coffee anyway. Dude, that looks cool. It really does, especially in the view and the lens. Say we got. It's 5:57. Sunset in Tucson, Arizona. 6:11. Start to hit the mountain. It's so peaceful up here. It's just like quiet. You know, you hear the drone in the background, but it just has this like beautiful. Starting to hit the mountain. There it goes. Coming down soon. That's beautiful. I was saying Ruiz update. Here, let me go look at the update. Michael Ruiz. Ruiz. 18 minutes. Sheriff Nanos tells Savannah Guthrie's network NBC there are no names his team is looking into, and there's a snag with mixed DNA at the Florida lab he's using. This runs counter to statements from local businesses about how they've been shown a list of names and images by the FBI. It is also unclear that the DNA recovered inside has been useful in the investigation. He said in tonight's interview recorded yesterday that the lab he's using is having trouble isolating mixing DNA samples. His office said today it's still being analyzed. My goodness. Oh, what a mess. Everyone's like, Ruiz update. Sheriff Nanos tells Savannah Guthrie's network, NBC, there are no names his team is looking into, and there's a snag with the mixed DNA at the Florida lab he's using. This runs counter to statements from local businesses about how they've been shown lists of names and images by the FBI. Unless the FBI is running their own thing and not working with the sheriff on names, they don't have a name. It's also unclear that the DNA recovered inside has been useful for the investigation. One person suggests at this time, if Savannah is not going to speak up or speak out, it's time to move on. She doesn't seem to care, or she would be all over this. What a debacle. What a mess. Why is it at this private lab anyway? Send it to Quantico. Oh man, what happened? What does all that mean now? People say it screams an inside job, incompetence, cover up, botched investigation. We're 21 days now. We don't have no names. "21 days with no names." The sun is going over the mountain right now. There it goes. Crazy. Let's head back, folks. Yeah, it's down. It's over the mountain. It was pretty. But this is not good, man. This is not good. That just put a pit in my stomach. They don't have any names, folks. This case seems like it's been botched. They're at a standstill. Still dealing with Florida labs. I'm very concerned with that bad news there. And the sheriff's telling NBC, he's giving an exclusive with NBC. He's still talking to networks, but no press conference. He probably wanted to share it with NBC because NBC would probably, because of Savannah and NBC, wanted to probably share it with them. It's sick. Shouldn't have went to the Florida lab in the first place. It should have went to Quantico from the get-go. The FBI's labs. Not no private lab in Florida. But again, you might have confidence in that private lab. My goodness. Let me put this in my rack. We're going to continue the conversation a little bit. I'm not done yet. But see, what with that news, what does... Oh my goodness. What is this? Holy smokes, somebody sent a package. Dude, I came back, there was a Hershey bar on my door. Or in my seat. My goodness. Somebody put a Hershey bar in my... That's crazy. Thank you so much. Who did this? What's in the box? What's in the box? I have to open it. I just was like, whoa, there's a Hershey bar in my... There's a Hershey bar in a box. Thank you so much, whoever did this. I'll have to look. Here, hold on. Look, JLR investigates from Lisa. It's from Lisa. Lisa sent me a Hershey bar. Thank you, Lisa. It says Lisa. I think it says Lisa. It says Lisa. What we got? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, another battery pack. Thank you. Always these things come in handy. Look at this. A Pocket Joyce Slim Pro. Whoa, this is a good one. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do we got more in the arsenal? We'll never run out of juice. That means we can do consecutive streams without the fear of running out of juice. And thank you for the Hershey bar. I'm going to eat this tonight. JLR investigates. Thanks for all you do. Lisa in Norcel. Norcel. But Lisa. It looks like Lisa. Thank you. Very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. I was shocked. I saw a Hershey bar there. I'm like, what in the world is going on? All right. Let's get back to business. I appreciate that. Very grateful. Thank you. I got to put this tripod in my thing for a second. Sun goes down, it immediately drops 10 degrees, right? Holy smoke, it was just like out here, it felt 70 to 50 in 20 minutes. Yeah. He just said that it literally, the temperature just dropped like 15 degrees. This is nuts. No, I can't eat the Hershey bar now. I'll eat the Hershey bar. I can't eat it now. My taste buds. I have to get something first. Dude, where are we at here on this, man? This is nuts. Let me analyze this again and see if there's any people that I need some forensic people in the chat. We need some forensic specialists. Sheriff Nanos tells Savannah Guthrie's network, NBC, there are no names his team is looking into. No suspects. And there's a snag with mixed DNA at the Florida lab he's using. It is unclear that the DNA recovered inside has been used for the investigation. Oh boy. He said in tonight's interview, recorded yesterday, that the lab he's using is having trouble isolating mixed DNA samples. Good God. The DNA should have went to the private, or should have went to the Quantico. The FBI should have went to a private lab in the first place. What a disaster. I mean, at the very least, why don't you just get the Arizona Attorney General and have them take it? If you don't want to give it to the feds, give it to the Arizona Attorney General at the very least. They have the authority, right? The Arizona Attorney General. This poor woman, Jesus. He's counting on DNA to solve this case. That's what it appears he's doing. He's counting on DNA to solve this case, and now he's at a snag with the DNA. So how in the heck is he going to solve the case? This is not good.
Not good.
This is not good. What a mess. No, I'm analyzing. I'm speechless.
We all are. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there tonight. We'll be back in the morning. There's a lot of other shows on right now. JFK, I want to check out. LTL's live. There's also some spaces going on. I want to thank everybody who super chatted tonight, everyone in the chat tonight. We had so much fun. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you in the morning. I'm going to be covering this again in the morning. I want to see what goes on with this search. The sheriff is discouraging people from searching without a permit and all this crazy crap. But a bunch of people are planning to go out tomorrow and search. I want to see if JLR is with them. He'll probably be following them around. We'll be back in the morning. We will be back in the morning. I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the sub button if you haven't yet. Thank you, Money Making Mike. Yes, thank you, Padrid 19. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, everybody who's here. I'm glad Vic's out of work. Vic's got to work tomorrow. We're all working over here. We are working. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Rest tonight. I'll see you in the morning. I'm going to be streaming in the morning. It's probably going to be a long day of streaming. I'm going to be cooking and streaming tomorrow. And eating lots of food tomorrow. Getting ready for this blizzard. Yeah, you got yellow flowers earlier today? Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Saw the little gift he just got too. Let's pray the snow's not too bad on Sunday night into Monday. We'll see what happens. Make sure you're prepared. Get your candles ready, especially if you're near the coast. Get your batteries correct, your flashlights, your phone charges, full tank of gas. Do the whole 9 yards. If you have a generator, make sure you get some gasoline in. If it's a gas-powered generator, be prepared for Sunday into Monday. I'll see you in the morning. Make sure you hit the sub button, all notifications if you haven't before. Really appreciate it. It's nice to see the subs going up. The subs have been going up. We're almost up to the 55-100. That's the next level we're going to hit. Hopefully we'll hit it this weekend. Good chance we might. We keep going up. We got a couple more tonight. So we'll see you tomorrow. I really appreciate everyone being here. Everyone's given the support. You made me smile and blush tonight. It was amazing. Yeah, don't use your generator indoors. That's always a good tip. Yeah, be safe tomorrow when the snow starts. I'm worried about myself because I'm not supposed to snow shovel until at least Tuesday because of my eye situation, but I'll probably end up shoveling anyways. We'll see. We do have a plow for most of the driveway, but there's some shoveling that I do. We'll see what happens. I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace out, everyone. Maybe I'll see you over in the JFK or the LTL media chat. I'll be checking those out tonight. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace out. Love you. Be good. Be safe. Be strong. Be strong. We'll see you then.